All right. Looks like we're live.
What's up, guys?
What's up, YouTube?
Slight delay from us. We apologize. Having some technical difficulties. Started the game off. Falcons took it out to the 22-yard line. Matt Ryan under center.
Matt Ryan in the offense really been going good over the last stretch of 4 games.
Rolls out to the right to Julio Jones.
Julio with a 9-yard gain, almost first down. 14 minutes and 47 seconds into the first half of the first play of the game. This one here, for me, should be a pretty easy game for the Falcons. I know the records don't look great between these teams. You got the 1-5 Giants going up against, 2-4 Falcons at this point?
Yeah, the Falcons are 2-4. Both teams kind of struggling in their division. At least the Falcons are 2-1 right now. Matt Ryan's going to hand it off.
Looks like Tevin Coleman with a big run. Gain of about 13 or 14 yards to the right side of the line there. Gashed the Giants defense for a nice gain. Speaking of Tevin Coleman, that's one thing with the Falcons this year, dealing with a lot of injuries, one of those being their lead running back, Devontae Freeman.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. It's affected me in fantasy as Matt Ryan drops back to pass under pressure, gets rid of the ball. Looked close to whether that ball was going to be past the line of scrimmage or not, but they're calling it an incomplete pass.
I think that was intentional grounding. I think it was about 1.5 yards shy.
Yeah. No flags are thrown as of yet. You got the live stream up there, see if we got any comments.
Yeah, nobody's. We got one person watching. Yeah.
All right. Woo.
What's up, guys? But yeah, so I mean, with the wide receiving core for the Falcons, I mean, you've got two big players that are kind of dealing with some issues. Calvin Ridley dealing with that ankle issue, so we'll see how that affects the Falcons play. He's been a big part of their offense.
Matt Ryan from the 41 under center, hands off to Tevin Coleman. Gets back to almost the line of scrimmage. Might have actually lost a yard on that carry as the Giants were ready for that one. But yeah, I mean, wide receiver core. This is a team built at the wide receiver position.
Oh yeah,
you've got a lot of big names, a lot of talent at the wide receiver position. But as you said, a few of the guys in Calvin Ridley and Mohamed Sanu banged up. They are playing today, so we'll see how they do. I expect Austin Hooper, the tight end, to be a big part of the offense today.
Yeah, well, and I'm sure with the injuries, it'll draw a little off of them and a little bit more onto Julio Jones. But Julio Jones is still a threat within himself, and even Calvin Ridley, I'm sure injured, can do better than some other guys.
Matt Ryan in the gun takes a snap and is sacked.
6-yard loss, it looks like.
Looked like by Wynn, 72 on the Giants defense. That's going to force 4th down for the Falcons. It's like the Falcons are going to bring their punt team out.
We have Hector. Hector says, shot. Thanks, fellas.
What's going on, Hector? Appreciate you tuning in again. Giving our second go at this whole live commentary thing, so appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah, if you guys are out there watching, feel free to chime in.
All right. Falcons punted away. Giants receiving it at about the 11-yard line. Cuts upfield, gets out to about the 18 or 19-yard line, and that's where Eli Manning and the offense will take over for the Giants.
This offense, proclaimed by many to be the worst offense in the NFL. And
yeah, it's rough, man. Eli Manning has regressed. I mean, not that he was ever great.
Guy has won 2 Super Bowls. I mean, just saying.
Can't spell elite without Eli. I get that, but Eli, he's done enough in his career, as you said. I mean, he had good teams around him to help him to those 2 Super Bowls, and he did enough. He played good enough to get 2 Super Bowls, but these last 2 seasons, going back to last year and this year so far, I mean, it's been ferocious.
Yeah, we got Samad joining in on YouTube as well, saying what's up. He loves this content. Dude, we appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
We've been
tuning in.
This is our second go around on doing live commentary during a game. Check us out. We actually have our Facebook page, Birdland BS, facebook.com/BirdlandBS. YouTube. We have our YouTube channel, which you can subscribe below. And get alerts when we go live. We actually do a live podcast every week, and we'll be doing this week. It'll be a little bit different. I have to have. I'm hopped up on pain medication right now, since I've got to have dental surgery done here soon. But yeah, no, check us out on our Facebook page. Check us out on our YouTube channel. Twitter at Birdland BS is everything is at Birdland BS. You can check him out at Fred BLBS. Check me out at Scott BLBS and at Birdland BS on Twitter.
While you're here, be sure to hit subscribe. Hit the like button down below, the little thumbs up. That's how we kind of get noticed. So, again, it's our second go at this thing, so we're trying to get our name out there as much as we can with these live streams. I think it's something that we're going to commit to doing more often on Monday nights. Monday night seems to be the easiest thing that works out for us. So
this will probably evolve just as our podcast did. Our podcast started real small and just grew very quickly.
Yeah, it grew very quickly. So, again, we appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. If you got any questions or anything, make sure you leave the comments down below.
Yeah, Hector says he wants his Falcons to keep winning. Keep it up, fellas. He'll be back for your third. You'll be back for your third week.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Eli's got to retire is what Samad says.
Yeah, he's playing on borrowed time at this point. I was actually talking to another sports beat writer earlier today, and we were kind of having a debate of whether the Giants should start tanking the rest of this year. I mean, at 1-5, for their quarterback of the future. But I'm not real excited about too many quarterbacks coming out of the draft this year. Eli Manning back in the gun from the 19-yard line. He's got Saquon Barkley to his left. He hands off to Barkley to the right side. He breaks about a 2 or 3 yard gain as the Falcons wrap him up.
Talk about a guy that can be a game changer in Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
We've talked about it before on our podcast. We talked about it on the last show that we actually did,
right.
Where he has such shiftiness and north to south speed. He's always pushing forward.
He can do a little bit of everything. Obviously, he's got the size, he's got the quickness, he's got the vision, he's got the power. It's just an all-around good back.
Eli's got 4 wide, 3 trips to the left. Saquon out to the right. He's going to throw it over the middle, and that's going to be Beckham for about look like a 12-yard gain there.
Yeah, about that. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Giants. Just under 12 minutes to go in the first quarter. Eli looked good on that one. Set his feet, threw a perfect ball, hit Beckham on a slant, quick slant route. Beckham with, like you said, about a 12-yard gain.
Yeah. And when you have a guy like Saquon that can open up the field a little bit for a guy like Odell, you got to pass. You got to play against the pass protection as well as the run game.
Eli back in the gun. Lined up at the 37-yard line. Takes a snap. It's 1st and 10. Eli drops back, looking. Throws it out to Saquon in the flats. Saquon gets about a 3-yard gain before he's forced out of bounds. It's going to be 2nd and 7 for the Giants.
Yeah.
With about 11 minutes left.
So Connor joins us again. He was on
on
the show.
Good to see you again.
Connor brings up a question for us. Probably be better fit for our podcast. He said, "What do you guys think of Tucker? His thoughts are he's human and he's going to make mistakes. The kick was dead on. The wind came in, and the ball blew wide."
Give us a little while to still digest that, man. I think we're both still recovering from that. We were at the game last night.
Yeah, that was a crazy.
We'll definitely get into that a little bit later here in the show. Eli Manning under center from the 39-yard line. He's got
2 wide out to the left
in the I formation. Play action, drops, throws over the middle to Beckham. Beckham's got it at the 45-yard line.
Tries to take a juke
at about the 43. Manning off to a good start here against the Falcons D.
Yeah, of course Odell always trying to be the big playmaker, makes a big juke there. Probably stops himself from getting that extra 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, there's certain things like Beckham is a playmaker, but there's certain times where you just wish a guy would cut the ball up, cut it upfield, get a couple extra yards, stop trying to make things happen when they're not going to. Eli Manning back in the gun again from the Falcons 44-yard line. He's got 4 wide.
He's got 4 wide, 2 out to the right, 2 out to the left.
Back in the guns, got pressure, down goes
Sacked.
Eli.
Looks like a loss of about 7 there.
That's a big loss. Looked like Beasley in on the sack, and another guy is about 2-man tandem there. Atlanta, talk about the injury bug, man. Atlanta has been riddled with injuries this year, especially on the defensive side. A lot of key injuries. I think it's been a lot of the telling side of why Atlanta struggled this year. It's been mainly because of their injuries.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that was it was Jarrett, by the way, on the sack. Came in clean, right on him. Eli under center.
Looks like they're going to stop the play here.
Timeout
for the Falcons. They obviously didn't like something that they saw. Either that or they had too many men on the field or not enough men on the field. But looks like Atlanta used their first timeout. 9 minutes and 11 seconds left to go. It's 2nd and 17 for the Giants.
Hector asked if Grady Jarrett's starting. It looks like he is going to be starting.
He's starting. He's in, and he's already got a sack. The Giants' problem here, they've got their running back of the future. We mentioned him, Saquon Barkley. He looks like the real deal. He looks like the complete back. But they've got a bunch of McDonald's workers for offensive linemen. I mean, no offense to McDonald's workers out there, but they're not NFL offensive linemen. They went out and they picked up Nate Sauter from New England. They drafted Will Hernandez, thinking that would shore some things up. But so far, it does not look.
Eli never has time.
No, he doesn't.
So Eli lined up again. He's going with 4 wide, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. He got Saquon to his right. He's going to drop back. He's going to dump it off to Saquon for about a 6-yard gain. He tiptoed the line there to make sure that he didn't go out of bounds.
Yeah, it looked like he just got short of getting back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd down and probably about 11 here for the Giants. Giants looking to put some points on the board, at least get into field goal position. They're a good 15 yards out, so they got to get a first down here really to get in the field goal play.
And Saquon has 100+ yards in every game.
Yeah, 100+
this year
scrimmage yards
from the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he had a huge game last week. He had just over 200 yards on the line of scrimmage, so big game. Eli back to drop, back to pass, throws out to Saquon again in the flat. Saquon gets about a 4-yard gain before he's pushed out of bounds. It's going to be 4th down and about 7 here. Be interesting to see what the Giants do. I mean, you're on the other side of the field. Do you punt because it's still early, or do you actually go for it? It looks like they're going to punt.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot different than what we saw in the game.
Yeah, I was about to say, if this was a Sean Payton coach team, they would have gone for this.
What's crazy about that game is a lot of that was Drew Brees making those calls.
Yeah, Drew Brees, Sean Payton, both aggressive players and very good at what they do.
Yeah, Dixon back to punt. High, deep punt. This ball is going to bounce. It's going to get a Giants bounce here, and they're going to down it at the 1.5, I'll say, about almost the 2-yard line there.
Yeah, hell of a punt. Good bounce. Good coverage from the coverage team there for the Giants as they were ready and pounced on it at the end zone. So kept it at, like you said, about the 1.5-yard line. So Falcons going to be backed up here to start their second drive of the game.
Yeah. I mean, leave it up to Matt Ryan, though. I mean, with his offense, we've talked about some of the other guys that have been out. His biggest issue right now is you've got Andy Levitier, who's got a torn bicep, went on the IR he's an offensive lineman, so he loses a little bit of protection. But I don't think you're going to see too much with the defense of the Giants. When you look at the numbers, they are kind of right in the middle of the pack. 162 points allowed by this defense, or by the Giants in general. So I think that plays a huge role that they're kind of middle of the pack. They're not very, they're not very good in pass coverage. We've seen that in games that we've watched,
right?
And they're giving up, and it helps for the Falcons defense because the Giants have only scored 117 points all this season. That's second to last in the NFC and 27th in the league.
Yeah, it's pretty bad offensive team. For the Falcons, though, they're on the opposite end of that. Like I said, the last 4 games, Matt Ryan's, he's thrown a total of 12 touchdowns, had no picks. So starting to kind of get a rhythm offensively. Like I said, it's really been a matter of the injuries on the defensive side of the ball. As much as they're able to put points on the board, they haven't been able to keep points off the board as well.
They're 10th in passing in the league.
Yeah.
So it just shows it's Matt Ryan.
I think these are 2 of the worst teams defensively in the league. I want to say one's at 30 and one's at 29. These are 2 of the worst defensive teams statistically as we speak right now in the league. So we'll see what happens here. This should be a decently high-scoring game when you just look at the numbers on the table. But a lot of that's going to rely on Eli. We talked about how much he struggled with the down the field passes. We covered the Eagles and Giants Thursday night football game last week, and he was just throwing lollipops up. Rainbows down the field. tonight so far, the 2 throws that he's made over 10 yards to Odell Beckham, he's thrown more kind of like a dart. So he's throwing a little bit more with a little bit more aggression. So I've liked what I've seen so far on the first drive.
2 big names at the game tonight that just showed Evander Holyfield and Deion Sanders at the game tonight.
Prime time. Matt Ryan under center, drops back, is in the end zone, throws out to Julio with a complete pass. Looked like a gain of about 14 yards to the sideline there. So Julio runs out of bounds after he makes the catch. Got both feet in bounds. So that's going to be a first down for the Falcons at about the 15-yard line.
And we got 9 people who have been watching the live feed. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit like, subscribe. We're going to keep doing this and doing it more often. So the more you guys can help us get the word out, the bigger we can grow this thing.
Any questions you have, any interactions you have, please leave it below.
Absolutely.
Matt Ryan under center. He's got Tevin Coleman in the back. He hands off to Coleman. Coleman cuts it up the middle, makes one cut and goes, and gets about a 3 or 4 yard gain there up the middle against the Giants D. Tevin Coleman has been a guy that has been a very productive running back so far. Just never been the number 1 guy. Hasn't had a shot. He's kind of been behind Freeman. Finally gets a chance. Matt Ryan takes a snap, drops back to pass, gets a little bit of pressure on him, rolls out, takes a shot down the field. There's a flag on the play. Julio catches it at the 50, down to the 45 and the 40 before he's tackled, but there is a flag on the field.
I think this is going to be called back here. It looked like it was holding.
Could be holding.
Offensive holding.
Yeah.
On your right tackle.
Looked like one of the big boys laid down on one of the defensive linemen or linebackers there. So we'll see what they call on this. Yeah. But big play, big pass there from Matt Ryan to Julio.
James in house.
Of course. What's going on, Caruzi?
Birdland BS Nation. James is in the house. James is a frequent viewer of ours.
Yeah, so it looked like holding on the Falcons. It looked like their tight end. Julio Jones looks a little gassed after that play. Yeah, so it's going to be...
and James brings up a good point. Chick-fil-A, it's open tonight.
That's right. That's right.
What's that, the one of 2 games this year?
One of 2 games that will actually be open in that stadium. What a terrible idea that was.
I would have at least said, hey, give us the recipe. We'll pay you for the recipe.
Matt Ryan in the gun on first down and about 15 yards from the 9-yard line. He's got Tevin Coleman to his left. He's got trips to the left. He's also got 2 wide receivers out right. Passes over the middle. It looks like it's complete to Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley cuts it upfield and gets a first down and gained about 14, right, it was 15, so about 20 yards on that one.
Yeah, 19, 20 yards.
Ridley was a guy coming out of Alabama. He was obviously one of the top receivers in this last draft, a guy that, for us as being Ravens fans, looking for wide receiver upgrades, was a guy that I wasn't too high on. I thought he was a little overhyped, but so far he's played pretty well.
He went 26th overall, and he's playing up to it. I mean,
yeah, him and Matt Ryan seem to have a good connection going so far.
2 wide out to the right, 1 out to the left. Coleman back under center. And he is sacked for a loss of, it looks like about 8, maybe 9 yards here.
Yeah, this could be blitz, and didn't see him coming.
Not at all. Yeah. It looks like this could be 2nd and 19. We're going to see where they spot this ball.
Just over 5.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Still no score. Yeah, corner blitz.
Yeah, Webb came right off the corner.
Yeah, came off the edge. Ryan didn't see him until the last second. By the time he saw him, there's nothing he could do but lay down. There's going to be a long one here. 2nd and 22 for the Falcons. Matt Ryan again in the gun. He's got Coleman to his right. He's got trips left. Looks for a short screen route to Sanu.
No,
that's Hill.
Hill, sorry.
Yeah. Looked like about a 7 or 8 yard gain. I tell you, Matt Ryan, like I said, this wide receiver core is loaded. He's got a lot of weapons there. He does not have the Flacco excuse of not having weapons in his career. He absolutely has had weapons in his career.
Yeah, no, he's always had weapons. It's just been,
you go back to the Julio and the Roddy White and the Tony Gonzalez days. I mean, this guy's always had weapons. Just hasn't been able to get over the hump yet. Back in the gun here on 3rd down and 13. Ryan drops back, no pressure, throws over to Sanu. Sanu cuts it up the field and gets about a 15-yard gain there on 3rd down for a first down.
Little chippiness here after the play.
Little mouse, it's all right. Deal with that.
Sanu, and I couldn't tell who that was for the Giants.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a late
Collins
hit.
For the Giants.
They could have thrown a flag on that. I mean, he was out of bounds when the guy dropped his shoulder on him. It was kind of questionable. I don't know. It's however you want to look at that.
Yeah.
If you're a Falcons fan, it's a flag. If you're a Giants fan, it's not.
If you're a Ravens fan, it might be a flag.
Matt Ryan under center. He's got Coleman at single back. He hands off to Coleman. Coleman cuts it up to the left side, but it looks like he's going to lose a couple on this one. Looks like maybe about a yard or two. Yeah. Just under 4 minutes left to go in the first. Again, still scoreless in Atlanta. Two of the worst defenses in the NFL square off. This will be a test, really, to see just how There it is. I think we're back.
We should be back, guys. Let us know if you can hear us.
Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell happened, but somehow our mixer cut out there. Strange. Nonetheless, again, Giants take over at their own 10-yard line as the Falcons punt the ball off. It's going to be first down and 10 for the Giants from the 10-yard line. Apologize for the audio issues, but that's why we got you guys tuning in. Appreciate you letting us know. Again, any questions that you may have, anything that you guys want us to talk about, or comments?
If you check this out from our last, he said the man trying to sabotage you guys.
Damn the man! Damn the man!
Yeah, no. So I mean, if you guys have any questions, we're open to any questions. We preferably, questions about the game, and what's going on. But we're open to any questions. Last time we did this, we had fun with it, and we had some people asking questions about where we stood on certain teams and certain games.
Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe for all you guys out there. Again, we are Birdland BS, a local Baltimore sports podcast first and foremost. Make sure you check us out on Facebook at Birdland BS. Check us out on Twitter at Birdland BS. Check our podcast out on all your podcast platforms, including Spotify. We're even on Spotify. That's how big we are.
Yeah, we're having fun.
Anybody can get on Spotify.
We have our live show every Tuesday night at 8:45. This week would be the one difference. But
Manning lines up from the 11-yard line here on 1st down and 10 for the Giants. He's got in an I formation, hands off to Saquon Barkley. Barkley lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage there.
Maybe a loss of 1 there. We'll see where they spot the ball.
Yeah, Falcons sniffed that one out and collapsed the offensive line, and Saquon had nowhere to go.
Yeah, no. And like we talked about earlier, I mean, Saquon is such a heavy load for this team with 229 scrimmage yards last week, yards from scrimmage against the Eagles last week. It's one of those things that it's crazy to think about with Saquon Barkley's talent that this team is 30th in the league.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, it's 29th in the league as far as
drops
rushing.
Back, play action pass, rolls to his right, throws downfield. It was complete. Looked like the Sterling Shepard for a gain of about 12 yards on that for a 1st down. So Giants able to get away from the end zone there a little bit. Now, speaking of Saquon Barkley and his strength, here's a video of him squatting. What was his squat there? Squat was 650 pounds. Sweet Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's more than
his clean is 405, his bench is 455.
Yeah, those numbers were insane.
So we have Eli's going to hand it off to Saquon. Saquon's going to get forward about a yard, maybe 2, depending on the spot of the ball. I'm going to go with the yard here. We have Hector asking, what do we think about the Rams? Are they Super Bowl bound or no?
Absolutely. Rams are probably the most complete football team in the NFL right now. Just everything, offensively, defensively, special teams, that they are a special team. Honestly, the only thing that's going to keep them from being a Super Bowl team is either going to be injuries, if they get hit with an injury bug, or themselves. They somehow psych themselves out of it. But that's a talented team. Top to bottom, they've got a hell of a head coach.
Yeah, no, and they have a quarterback that knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Eli Manning drops back, dumps it off to Saquon Barkley. Barkley breaks one, misses. Yeah, got missed by 1, but then pushed out of bounds. Looked like a gain of about 13 yards on that for a 1st down as we come to the end of the 1st quarter. Still scoreless, but the Giants on the move look like they're going to be at about the 35-yard line right now. It's a good play by Barkley. Look, Barkley is going to be their workhorse. There's no doubt. Like if you're going to be successful, you've got to start with Barkley, whether that's feeding him the ball out of the backfield or whether that's, hitting him out in the flats, with some of the passes like they've been doing. So far, I think they're on the right path here strategically. I think that's their best option offensively right now.
K-Styles Gaming asks, who do we want to win this game? For me, who do I want to win? I'd love to root for Eli, but it's not going to happen.
I don't really have much of a rooting interest in this game, honestly. I'm just a football fan in general. I'm obviously a Ravens fan first and foremost. We're from Baltimore. For you guys out there that don't know us, again, we're a Baltimore sports podcast, so we're Ravens fans first and foremost. There's always been that for me. There's always been that, Matt Ryan and Joe Flacco comparison conversations because they were in the same draft, and Flacco obviously has the Super Bowl and he's got the Super Bowl MVP, and Matt Ryan puts up all the gaudy statistics but hasn't been able to get over the hump. So obviously I have a little bit more interest in the Falcons, and I've kept up on the Falcons a little bit more than I have the Giants. I've never been a big New York sports fan in general. Being from Baltimore, you can't be a Yankees fan. You can't be a Knicks fan, or you just
no.
You tend to stay away from the New York sports.
No Rangers or Islanders,
right? But I respect them. I do. I have a lot of respect for New York sports, and I respect the Giants. I just think Eli Manning again is playing on borrowed time. I think he's over and done with, my friends.
Yeah, no, he definitely is. That's why I was saying, like, I would love to root for him, but you just can't. It's Atlanta. Atlanta has the big the big weapons here in this game, as much as they haven't really been using them or been able to be successful in using them with a 2-4 record,
right?
It's better than the record of the Giants with 1-5.
Yep.
So K-Style says he thinks the Giants next season. What do the Giants need to do to make the playoffs?
There's no short answer to that.
I got one.
There's
get an offensive line.
That's where it's got to start. They've got to look. Next year, this coming draft, there really isn't any too exciting quarterbacks. Nobody to really get your hopes up on. You got to start from the interior. You got to build your offensive line in hopes that maybe you can get Tua in 2 years. So I think this is a 2-year project for the Giants, not one.
Eli under center hands the ball off to Saquon. Saquon's going to bounce to the outside. Looks like he's going to get a gain of about 2, maybe 3 if they spot it out.
Yeah, so
looks like it's going to be a gain of about 2.
Again, they've got their workhorse in Barkley. That's a good start. They've got a couple of decent offensive line pieces, but you can see that from center on to the left side, it's a struggle. So they've really got to address the offensive line issues first and foremost. That'll have a huge effect on Barkley's play. And then again, in a year from now, if you can get a Tua or somebody like that at quarterback, man, this team will be set.
3 wide out. It's going to be a toss.
Well, a pitch to Ingram. Ingram cuts it upfield, man, makes a couple people miss, and actually gets a nice gain there for a first down.
Looks like a gain of about 9, maybe even 10. Looks like the spot's going to be 10.
That's a guy that I think is a little underutilized right now. Evan Ingram, big, tall, athletic tight end, a guy that really played well last year. When Eli utilized him, just they have not gone his way so far this year.
Yeah. Some of our regulars, our Birdland BS regulars, chiming in. Tom Brady says, dang, man, Tucker missed that extra point. Ouch.
Come on, man, too soon. We're not going to talk about that right now. Too soon.
So it looks like we're going to get a false start on the offense. They started to get the playoff. Looked like it was going to be a run play for Saquon.
Eli with that look on his face.
What happened?
You don't have
I was on Odell.
You don't have to be watching the game to know what the Eli Manning face is. If you've been watching football, you know what the hell that is.
Our boy George Foreman also chiming in.
All right, what's going on, man? Hey, Brady, I've got your gift bag. I have not sent it out yet. I'm actually going to meet with Bill and give that to Bill so Bill can just bring it into work to you, man. It just worked out that him and I were talking the other night. I didn't have it with me, but I got that ready to give to you.
All right, Eli drops back under the gun, dumps it off to Saquon. Yet again, Saquon's going to get a gain of about 2 there, running out of bounds on the left-hand side. He's getting so much pressure on him so quickly that's why Saquon is getting so many of these throws. And Odell gets upset, but when he doesn't have time to let Odell get down the field, you have to recognize that and have to be able to say, I got to dump it off to the guy that's going to give me the most yardage, and that's Saquon right now.
Yeah, Eli off to a decent start so far. He's 8 for 8 for 69 yards here, just in 2 minutes into the second quarter. So far, he's playing pretty well. Again, a lot of the passes out of the backfield to Saquon Barkley, but again, that's your workhorse. You take your occasional shots downfield to Odell and keeps feeding Saquon.
Oh, and Eli gets sacked with a loss of about 8.
Yeah, that was one of the key factors for me going into this game. Neither one of these teams pressured the quarterback very well statistically. So far in this game, we've seen pressure from both sides, the Giants and the Falcons.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So far,
that was Crawford on the sack there. It's gonna be 3rd and 21 here for the Giants.
Yeah, this is going to be a dump-off pass and hope for the best here and set up for 4th down. Eli doesn't typically take the shots down the field.
Saquon out to his left, trips out to the right, one receiver out to the left.
And there's the pressure. He dumps it off to Ingram. Ingram cuts it upfield, gets about 6 or 7 yards there. Not enough, obviously, for the first down.
Yeah, no.
So in comes the punting team for the Giants. Still scoreless with just under 12 minutes left in the second quarter. You got any questions or comments? Again, make sure you're leaving them down below. You got anything there, Scott?
We've got a few. We've got K-Style says exactly the line needs to step up so that they can make plays. Mm-hmm. Tom says, would you say Eli is a Hall of Famer?
No. I mean, if you look at the numbers and you look at the Super Bowls, does he qualify because of the Super Bowls? Yes.
Oh, the drop on the
punt
bobbled by Dixon, and it's going to be a short punt. The Giants are going to down it at looks like about the 25-yard line there. Yeah, no, I agree. Eli is not a Hall of Famer. Yes, he's got the rings, which is everybody's excuse, especially out of New York. But when you look at his ability to, one of the big things about Hall of Famers is Hall of Famers make the people around them better.
Yeah.
And that's something that Eli has always lacked. So I agree with you. I don't think Eli is a Hall of Famer at all.
Now, if Eli would have played 25, 30 years ago and put up the numbers that he's putting up, you look at the Terry Bradshaws, you look at the Troy Aikmans. These are quarterbacks that are Hall of Fame quarterbacks that didn't really have gaudy statistics because it was a different game back then. But when you talk this era of football, this passing era of football, and you've got the likes of his brother, like, Peyton is going to go in, obviously, first ballot. Same thing with Tom Brady. And you've got all these other guys, even Ben Roethlisberger and the numbers that he's putting up and things. Eli just doesn't compare on that level. Yes, he has the statistics as far as the Super Bowls go, but I do not see him being a Hall of Famer.
No, not at all. Hector says, in reference to Barkley, he said they need to rush and have someone spy on Barkley, plain and simple. Look, you can do that, but if you're gonna rush, you gotta be able to know that you can have what is right now their biggest weapon covered.
Yeah.
And a lot of teams do a pretty good job of that, despite, what some of the numbers may say about Saquon Barkley. But I definitely think that's the way to go. Is you have to make sure that he's covered, and it can't. Honestly, you've got to make sure that whatever linebacker you're going to put on him can get to him. We've seen that with C.J. Mosley on the Ravens, where he struggles to get to a guy once he gets past the line of scrimmage and gets out into the flat. He struggles to keep up with him and get to him.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, though, Hector, I think you're right. You do need to game plan if you're going to beat the Giants. If you stop Saquon Barkley and you make this team one-dimensional where they got to get the ball down the field to Odell Beckham and to Ingram, that's going to make for a long day for Eli. Eli just doesn't have the ability to beat you through the air like he did, at one point in his career. So, yeah, I think containing Saquon, like you said, putting a spy on him, doing whatever you got to do to contain him is definitely key to beating the Giants.
Absolutely. And K Styles says Drew Brees Hall of Fame.
Oh, first ballot.
Yeah, exactly.
First ballot. I mean, that's is that a real question?
Yeah, no. His numbers are through the roof. Not even close. I mean, he holds records that are. He's got a record for the number of records.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And it looks like Matt Ryan's going to toss it off to Coleman. Coleman's going to get stopped before he gets out to the line of scrimmage on the right-hand side. Giants seem to read that pretty well. He's going to get stopped for about a 1-yard loss there. Matt Ryan has really struggled. We're seeing a lot of the defense, for the Giants getting to him. Wynn getting in on the sack last time. What do you think is going to be the big piece to this offensive line being able to handle?
Got to commit to the run game. You can't abandon it just because it might not be working right now. But Matt Ryan sits at 6 for 7 for 77 yards, so off to a decent start statistically. It's just like you said, he's got the offensive line's got
Ryan in the gun. He's got to hand it off to Coleman again. Coleman goes up to center. He's going to get a gain of about 3. Collins on the tackle, who lost his helmet on the tackle as well. Never fun. So I think the big thing here is this offensive line for the Falcons has to get – they've got to get the protection for him so that if he can go through his progression and find the guy that's open, you can maybe get some big plays downfield. But if this offensive line's not holding up, Ryan's not going to have time to do that. He's going to drop 3 wide to the left. He's going to drop out. He's going to get the ball to Julio Jones, and it's going to be a gain of – looks like about 7, so it's going to be a first down. So first down, Julio Jones on the catch, right out in the flat, and then took it out towards the sideline. So it's going to be, looks like about 1st and 10 on about the 36.
Yeah, you look at Julio Jones, and, some of us get spoiled because we're fantasy football players, and we want to see Julio Jones scoring all the touchdowns. But Julio Jones, he's second in the NFL right now at 708 yards before today's game, having a heck of a season. on pace for over 1,500 yards. So still having a good year. Might not be putting up all the touchdowns. I feel like the Falcons underutilize him in the red zone.
We got a flag. It looks like it's going to be a false start.
Yeah, it's a 5-yard penalty. Looked like Wes Schweitzer with the false start there. Like I said, Julio Jones, huge numbers over the last 5 years. Over 7,000 yards and 23 touchdowns. Yardage, he's first. He's tied for 29th in the league in touchdowns. Again,
458 receptions. Second.
When you look at his receptions and his yardage, he's the best wide receiver in the NFL. Where he struggles is his touchdowns. And I feel like it's not that Matt Ryan doesn't throw a lot of touchdowns. They just underutilize you.
Matt Ryan under center, fakes a handoff to Coleman, and then dumps it off to Coleman. Coleman's going to get just barely back to the line of scrimmage there.
Yeah.
Vernon
sniffed that one out. It looked like it was trying to be a screen that never came to fruition, and Vernon was there to stuff it.
Tom says, do you guys think Matt Ryan is worth the money he's getting paid?
No.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I think Matt Ryan is a good quarterback. I don't think he's a great quarterback. And I'll say the same thing about Joe Flacco, even being a Ravens fan. I think he's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. I don't think either one of them deserve the contracts that they have. Yeah, right. Julio still has no touchdowns this season. It's crazy. They just don't utilize him in the red zone. Matt Ryan back to pass. Ball's batted down at the line of scrimmage there. For an incomplete pass, it's going to be third down and 15, third and long.
Win on the bat there.
Just over 8 minutes left to go in the first half. 8:09 to be specific. He's had 3 targets. There you go. There's a statistic for you. 3 targets in the red zone all year, and they were all in week 1. 0 receptions. So there you go. They just do not utilize him in the red zone enough. Matt Ryan in the shotgun. He's got Coleman to his right. He's got 4 wide. Giants kind of playing off the line. Julio across the middle makes 1 guy, 2 guys, 3 guys miss, but he's still brought down at about the 40-yard line. It's going to be fourth down and about 7. Falcons bring out the punt team.
Yeah, it's not like the game that we were at with.
No.
Going forward on 4th down, 4 straight times?
Yeah, 3 times. I think it was 3 or 4 times on the first drive alone, man. It was what a crazy game that was.
So Matt Bosher is going to be back to punt from about the 26-yard line. He's going to put this one pretty deep, pretty good. Giants are going to field it about the 27. He's going to take it about 30, 35, 40, and he's going to be taken down at about the 43-yard line.
Yeah, it was a big return. It was a clean punt. I was almost
Henderson on the return.
Almost curious as to why he didn't fair catch that, but he made me look like an idiot as he made a couple guys miss there for a nice return. Gets Eli and the Giants offense good field position here with about 7 minutes left to go in the first half.
Eli 9 for 9 so far tonight, starting off the night. Tom Brady says Dan Quinn is going to get fired.
Yeah, I mean,
it's quite possible
at this point. Yeah, I mean, look. There's no underestimating the loss of their offensive coordinator, Kyle Shanahan. When Kyle Shanahan left and took the head coaching job out in San Fran, this offense just really hasn't recovered. They've played better as of late, but again, not having Devontae Freeman affects them huge. All the injuries on defense has affected them. It's not just a coaching thing from Dan Quinn. But yeah, I mean it's been a downhill ride for the Falcons really since they've gotten rid of Kyle Shanahan. Well, so it's Kyle Shanahan got promotion basically.
Right. And yeah, no, Tom Brady brings up a good point. Hector was saying that he did take them to the Super Bowl, which yes, he did. But when you blow a lead in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it could be play. Look, there's a lot of different factors. It could be play calling. It could be poor coverage. It could be, there's a lot of different things. But you are looking at that saying, look, play calling has to be playing a role at some point during a 28-3 blown lead.
And it's not like the Falcons have a huge window of opportunity here. I mean,
Hector actually says that was Kyle, not Dan.
Yeah, I Kyle was the offensive coordinator, not the head coach at the time. Head coach, I think, was Mike. No, was it? Who was the head coach when they were in the Super Bowl? It wasn't Mike Smith. Was it Dan Quinn? That's a good question. I'm not 100% sure on that one, actually. I know Kyle Shanahan, again, was the offensive coordinator at the time, but not the head coach.
I'm looking that up now for us.
Get another beer. 7 minutes, 24 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Still tied at 0. Big news on the day as the Cowboys trade a first-round draft pick to the Oakland Raiders for underperforming wide receiver Amari Cooper. What was your first take on that, man?
I saw that. I was quite surprised, but then at the same time, to see them give him up, it seems like it's going to start to become a fire sale in Oakland at this point.
Yeah, but like I just feel like the Dallas Cowboys overpaid for a first round pick for Amari Cooper when Josh Gordon cost a 5th round pick.
Yeah, this is true.
You know what I mean? You know, to go to New
Well,
England.
but Josh Gordon also comes with a lot of baggage.
No, that's very true.
So
that's very true.
It's a risk reward with him.
The reward with Gordon, I feel like, is far greater.
And Dan Quinn was the head coach.
Okay, yeah. Kyle was the offensive coordinator, right? That's what I thought. Okay. Eli in the gun here on 2nd and 10. Takes the ball, fakes handoff to Saquon, throws over the middle, just outside of the reach of Beckham. Threw it a little too far out in front of him. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 10.
And we got a bunch of you guys watching. You know, please don't hesitate to chime in here. I know we got plenty of people chiming in. Let us know if you got questions. You know, we'd be happy to answer them. You know, also make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you get notifications. We go live every Tuesday. Every Tuesday 8:45. This is the one exception this week. I have to have dental surgery, so we're gonna see how that goes. But we'll be on Wednesday this week. So be sure to check that out.
Eli in the gun here, 3rd and 10. He's got 3 wide receivers.
3 out to the right, 1 out to the left.
Got pressure, and down goes Eli
sacked.
yet again. Sacked back at about the 33-yard line.
It's going to be 4th down, and it looks like 4th and 20.
Yeah, about that. A lot of pressure, man. This is a game that, like I said, these are 2 teams that don't really pressure the quarterback very well, again, statistically. But so far, it's been the opposite of that.
And Tom says Josh is a beast. Josh Gordon's a beast and way better than Cooper.
Yeah, I mean, look, the potential that you get with Josh Gordon, again, far out exceeds what you would get with Amari Cooper. Nobody's arguing that, but the risk you take with Josh Gordon.
Dixon gets the punt off clean.
Speaks for itself.
Looks like the Falcons are going to field it at about the 14-yard line.
Yeah, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Falcons from their own 14-yard line.
Just under 6 minutes left in the second quarter here.
See if somebody can finally get on the board. We're still scoreless here in the first half. This is a game that, again, you got 2 of the worst statistical defenses in the league. You would have thought that this would have been more of a higher scoring game, but so far, nothing to speak of.
Yeah, no, and we haven't seen anybody in the red zone yet. We haven't seen anybody. We've seen, I think 3 plays beyond the 50-yard line at this point so far in this game. So, big difference from what many people thought this game was going to be. I know that the line on this game was pretty high in the Falcons' favor.
Right.
And credit to the Giants' defense right now. I mean, keeping them in check, keeping Matt Ryan and all of his weapons, Calvin Ridley, Mohamed Sanu, and Julio Jones, along with Coleman, even being a little bit more on the quiet side, so to speak.
Yeah. Gotta plug in my computer here before it dies. Didn't realize it wasn't plugged in. Yeah, it's been an interesting year in the NFC, man. There's been a lot of disappointing teams, just kind of say the least. Going into the season, I had the Atlanta Falcons in the playoffs, whether it was going to be a division win or whether it was going to be, a wild card team. I had the Falcons winning, but right now they're sitting at the bottom, of their division. You got the Saints kind of running away with things right now at 5-1. You got the Panthers at 4-2. Tampa Bay, who was off to a really good start at the beginning of the year, sitting at 3-3 right now. And then, of course, you got the Falcons at 2-4, as we said. we just got off the 1-point loss to the Saints, so we got to see them up close and personal. Saints are a well-rounded team. I know that defensively, their corners are pretty suspect, so if you're going to beat them, you got to beat them through the air. And that was one thing I was kind of hard on the Ravens, was they weren't, in my opinion, they weren't aggressive enough with the passes and the play calling. We kind of harp on having a balanced attack and that kind of thing. This was one game where I felt if you were going to be pass heavy, this is where it was going to be the right situation for it. And the Ravens just didn't do it for whatever reason.
Yeah, no, not sure quite why. But I mean, this is definitely something that we saw. We're showing some crazy artwork from a bunch of referees throwing flags and jumping on each other for the game here. Matt Ryan's under center. He's going to hand it off to Coleman. Coleman's going to get out to the right-hand side, and he's going to get about 4 yards on the play.
Tom Brady says if the Falcons lose tonight, their season's over. I agree with you, Tom.
Yeah, Hector agrees as well, and he's a Falcons fan. He said,
sitting at 2-4, 2-5 does not look pretty when you're looking up at a Saints team at 5-1.
Falcons are going to go no huddle here. Matt Ryan's going to get the snap off, fake to Coleman. He's going to look deep.
Austin Hooper,
catch. With a catch. He's going to get out to about looked like it was about the 35.
Wow, he pulled that ball out of the defender's hands. It really wasn't a well-thrown ball. It was actually thrown kind of underthrown. But, man, he reached right over the DB's back there and pulled the ball in. Man, what a heck of a catch by Austin Hooper. Big game.
All right, so it's actually wasn't the 35. It's going to be the 47-yard line. So it's going to be 47. They're on the Giants' 47-yard line. Drops back. Looking deep again, way back into the end zone.
Boom!
And it's going to be Hill for a touchdown.
Wow, what a throw. What a catch.
Deep over the center.
Yeah, it's Hall, not Hill. My fault.
Right.
That was my fault. That was Marvin Hall. 47-yard touchdown. Just on a simple post route that he had beat the safety and beat the corner. And, it looked like it was a fake. It was a fake handoff to Coleman. They had an end-around guy from the wide receiver come over. They faked the handoff to. And then he hits a 45-yard pass down the middle of the field to Marvin Hall. Big play, big score. Atlanta takes the lead 6-0.
Hector says,
who should he got mossed. Yeah, that'll be on He Got Mossed for sure. Oh, the extra point. Yeah,
it's good.
That one's actually good for you Ravens fans out there that
that hurts.
Had
man.
to watch that. Tucker.
You know what? Tucker is still the most accurate kicker in all of NFL and all of NFL history.
Yeah,
he went 222 straight extra point attempts, and the 223rd. The wind just took it. There was no explanation. When you're looking at the way he kicked the ball, he said it felt good, it looked good, and then it just turned.
You go back and you look at it, it was right down the middle of the uprights, and then all of a sudden it looked like it just got hit by something and went to the right. It looked almost fake when you watched it.
Well, this evening, I know Jared Johnson, former Raven, was saying that he was talking to some people that apparently in that end zone, Tucker was pregame having a little bit of struggle getting it through the uprights.
Yeah, I mean the wind was swirling around down there last night at the stadium. It was pretty unreal. But yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of people here in Baltimore, and this is just the way Baltimore sports fans are, being really, really hard on Tucker. Like you said, not only has he never missed an extra point in his NFL career, this goes back to he's never missed an extra point in his college career. Matter of fact, the only time he's ever missed an extra point was his sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
He has not missed an extra point since his sophomore year of high school. Like, if that doesn't tell you how accurate this kicker is, it's unheard of. And how many games have we taken for granted that he's won for us, either with field goals or extra points?
Last minute, yeah.
You don't even think about it when a kick comes up. You just it's automatic. It doesn't even cross your mind.
Yeah, Jared said they weren't even him and Jerry Sandusky, the announcer for the Ravens, were both not even paying attention because it's just so regular
right.
for Justin Tucker to hit that.
And Hector, great point. He did take that shit like a man. He went straight out. Matter of fact, for those that don't know it, he actually requested to talk to the media. It wasn't like the media came and found him. He requested to talk to the media because he wanted to set an example for his son and show that, you know, even in times of adversity, sometimes you need to face the music.
Yeah.
And he did that. So good on Tucker for doing that.
And Tom says it was a nice pass by Joe at the end that was clutch, and that really
was. Oh, it was. I don't know
beautiful.
Whoever the Saints had assignment on Brown, man, he just left him wide open there in the end zone. Poor coverage.
You get the kick here. It's going to be, they're going to take it out of the end zone. Giants are going to take it out of the end zone. Going to get out to about the 19, but there is a flag on the play in the back. There's actually 2 flags on the field. Oh, and another flag comes in.
Flags are flying from everywhere. Hats are going to be thrown in. Throwing everything they can get. Let's see how many penalties they call on this one. Looks like personal foul on the receiving team. That's illegal block. Yeah, Hector, he requested to talk to the media. It's pretty impressive. Just goes to speak of his character and speak of him as a person.
And Tom says Tucker's a great kicker. It's okay. Every kicker is going to miss a mistake at some point. You guys are solid at that position. He's better than Billy Cundiff. That's a curse word for us. So
Cundiff
don't bring that up.
That's a curse word here in Baltimore. There's a couple players in Baltimore history that we don't mention, as they're all curse words, and that would be one of them.
Lee Evans.
Yeah. That's another one. Eli Manning under center here at the 10-yard line. First down and 10. Sterling Shepard in motion, comes up on the line. They hand it off to Saquon. Saquon cuts it up the middle, gains about 2 yards on first down. Just over 4.5 minutes left in the second quarter, first half. Atlanta leads 7-0. Giants need to get in scoring position here, at least get a field goal before the end of the half, so that way they can keep this game within the one possession.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's you got to keep it within one possession here. Giants have to march down the field. Eli has to be able to get this ball in the end zone, whether it's in the hands of Odell or Saquon or somebody else like Shepard. It's yet to be known.
Manning back to pass, looking for Shepard the entire time. That was kind of photographed. Barkley. It's Beasley there for the coverage. Saquon drops the ball. It's an incomplete pass. 4 minutes and 2 seconds left. Third down and 8.
Hector says he gives more props to Tucker now that he knows that.
Absolutely. That's kind of how I was when I listened to him talk and I heard that, he had called for the press conference himself. Man, that's a man.
Well, he said right when he came out too, I wanted to come out here.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, a lot of respect in that sense.
Yep. Eli drops back in the gun.
Trip wide out to the right, one out to the left.
He's got Saquon to his left. Looks like he's making an audible. Drops back to pass. A little bit of pressure up the middle. Gets it out to Odell Beckham for a big gain. Beckham down to about the 38-yard line.
38-39, yeah.
Yeah, big gain there on third down. Eli looking like he's trying to get everybody up on the line. Trying to go no huddle here. Maybe to keep the Falcons from calling substitution. We'll see. They get up. And Manning in the gun again.
Ball's on the 38-yard line.
Hands it off to Saquon. Saquon makes a move. Stiff arm. But can't get back to the line of scrimmage. I'll tell you, man.
East-West.
He is a strong dude. Did you see that stiff arm?
Yeah.
Golly. He has a lot of strength. But yeah, unfortunately there wasn't able to get around to the edge.
They're talking about it now. John Merrick, the president and CEO for the Giants, saying he wished he would create the headlines by his play on the field referencing Odell Beckham instead of his mouth after the game and off the field.
Yeah.
That's some big words coming from your president and CEO of your team. And you better pay attention because he's the one that signs your checks.
Yeah.
So
he just signed a big deal.
Eli drops back. He's going to dump it off to Saquon behind the line of scrimmage. Saquon's going to get out. And it looks like he's going to get about a yard shy of the first down.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be about 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2 here. Saquon comes up just short. We got 2.5 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Saquon's coming off the field. I don't know if the Giants are going to let this run down here to the 2-minute warning or what, but Saquon comes off the field here on 3rd down.
Took 3 guys, 4 guys, and he still didn't go down.
Yeah.
Shows you his power.
Yeah, I think the Giants are just going to let this run out here to the 2-minute warning.
I know, they're going to get the playoff here.
2 minutes and 6 seconds left as Eli hands it off to the fullback. Fullback takes it up the gut for about a 3-yard gain. It'll be first down for the Giants there as we come to the 2-minute warning. Falcons lead 7-0. 2-minute warning here in the first half.
Ooh, Connor says, do we think the Cardinals will trade Patrick Peterson?
So, Connor, I put a disclaimer out on Facebook. Or not Facebook, on Twitter today. And I tagged the Ravens in it, and I tagged the Cardinals. Here's my trade proposal. I think if the Cardinals are serious about trading Patrick Peterson, and it's not that they want to do this, it's that Peterson wants out, why don't the Ravens offer him Jimmy Smith, who he's kind of fallen out of graces with John Harbaugh here. So you're swapping top corner for top corner. And obviously Patrick Peterson's a little bit better than Jimmy Smith. So why don't we throw a 3rd-round pick with Jimmy Smith and send him out to Arizona? I'd be good with that. Patrick Peterson.
You think really a 3rd round?
Yeah. Patrick Peterson's a top 3 cornerback in this league. And when he's playing motivated and when he's playing healthy, he is the best cornerback in this league. To get a guy like that opposite of Marlon Humphrey, and actually his contract's a pretty cap friendly kind of deal considering he's one of the best cornerbacks in the league. I would love to see that deal happen. Now it's something that the Ravens probably will never do. The tweet will probably mean absolutely nothing. But yeah, I do think the Cardinals end up trading him. It's just a matter of to who and figuring out the top bidder.
Tom brings up a good point. The Cardinals have to be one of the worst coached teams right now.
Yeah,
and I think that's really true.
Yeah, Cardinals are a bad team. They are absolutely in a complete rebuild mode down there. Sad for Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald's such a good guy, and he's been a great wide receiver for them for a long time. He's a guy that I'd like to see get an opportunity somewhere to win a ring, whether that, whoever it may be, just get a shot at a Super Bowl.
So Tom says he thinks Jalen Ramsey is the best corner. If you think he's the best corner,
I'm not arguing with you. I think Jalen Ramsey 1-2 is right up there with him. Like I said, I think Patrick Peterson's a top 3 corner. I just do not like Jalen Ramsey and the way he runs.
If you're going to be a top corner, you have to be able to shut down some of the top receivers. And he got burned a few times by DeAndre Hopkins this weekend.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins kind of tore him a new one. So did the Cowboys. Cowboys beat up on the Jaguars. Jaguars not living up to expectations this year.
Hector says, LMFAO, you're being a general manager from Twitter.
Hey man, gotta do what I gotta do.
Eli's gonna drop back. He's got 4 wide. He's gonna go deep over the middle.
That's caught by Shepard there. That was a big gain down to about the
13-yard line.
Got about 1 minute and 45 seconds left here as the time starts to tick away.
Eli's running, getting everybody up to the line. Looks like they're gonna go no huddle here.
If Eli's smart, I think you just waste a little bit more time here. Let the clock run down so you don't give the Falcons more time to score. But just getting the ball off quick. Throws over to Ingram across the middle. Or not Ingram, that's the other tight end. Ellison. For about a 5-yard gain. 1 minute and 22 seconds left. It's not Jalen Ramsey, it's Blake Bortles. Nobody can move that. No, Blake Bortles absolutely is the problem on the offensive side right now. I'm not saying Jalen Ramsey's a problem. I just think he's a head case. And talks a little bit too much, but
Eli's going to drop back. He's going to look for the end zone, and it's going to be thrown a little bit too deep for Odell.
It's going to be a big 3rd down here. Giants driving, really need to get this touchdown, keep up with Atlanta here. You've driven down the field with 2 huge plays.
Well, and 3 straight throws here in the red zone. I think at this point you've got to, Eli a little upset saying it's Odell not taking the right route there, but I think they should have at least on 2nd down. You should have been running the ball.
Yeah.
You got
right now. They're at about a 13-yard line. 3rd and 6, Hector. So they got Manning.
I'm sorry,
they're on the 9 now. Yeah,
3,
right. Started
2, 1. Play clock's down, and Eli has to call timeout right before the play clock runs out.
Just got it off before it was a delay of game there for the Giants. So Giants use their first timeout of the half. They got 2 left here. It'll be 3rd and 6 again after the timeout from the 9-yard line. Sorry about that, Hector. From the 9-yard line. Yeah, this is a big one here for the Giants. They gotta get this touchdown here. Like I said, you've driven down the field with 2 big plays. It would suck to have to
settle for a field goal here.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens as Giants break the huddle. Eli comes out in the gun. He's got Barkley to his right. Odell Beckham out wide.
Odell's going to be out wide to the right. Trips out to the left.
Manning takes a snap, drops back, looks over the middle.
Plenty of time here.
Can't find anybody. He's pressured. He's moving around, and Eli goes down.
Sacked for loss of 4 there.
Eli had all the time there to throw the ball. I think he was looking for the perfect pass or looking for the perfect lane to throw in there. It looked to me like he had a couple opportunities down the field. I don't know what he was thinking.
He was looking to the right the whole time at towards Odell, and it looked like Shepard was also heading over that way as well as Saquon, but he had nowhere.
They actually had that
pretty good coverage there.
Yeah, they had that covered pretty well. Yeah, so Giants look like they're going to come out here and settle for a field goal. Which looks like it might be about a 28-yarder, 29-yarder.
Yeah, and so two pieces here. Tom says you guys see Sony Michel hurt his knee.
That's your boy. I did see Sony Michel hurt his knee. They said it, after the MRI, it didn't look like anything serious. He's going to be kind of a week-to-week basis type thing. Avoided a serious injury there.
So it looks like they're going to get the kickoff, and they're going to settle for that field goal with 50 seconds left on the clock. And Connor says, do you watch WWE? I occasionally do. My wife actually just messaged me about that with Roman Reigns, the champion for WWE, is actually surrendering the championship and is stepping away from WWE to battle leukemia.
Oh, wow.
So huge hurt for WWE. He's been a big pull. My wife is sitting here literally waving her hand off. She loves Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
In any sport, it's crazy. But yeah, so back to football. 50 seconds left on the clock. I just run 2 runs if I'm Atlanta, or do you try to go deep here and try and put something on the board?
You got just under about a minute left. You got a couple of timeouts still left to play with. I think you try to get downfield to see if you can get in field goal range and make this a touchdown game. But it's all in how you feel here. I mean, we'll see what happens if they actually return the ball or if they get the ball at the 25-yard line. If the ball's in the end zone, if the ball is going to get to the end zone, I think you just let it go so you don't waste any time here.
Right.
Get the ball back with 50 seconds left and your 2 timeouts, and then take a couple shots, try to get in field goal range.
And that's where it looks like it's going to be, and it's going to go out of the back of the end zone. So right on your money there.
Yeah, so
Tom says, is this Eli's last year on the Giants? If they don't turn this season around, I think it should be.
Yeah. This is another conversation that I had with another beat writer earlier today because we were talking about the draft coming up and, are there any quarterbacks that the Giants could see for the future? And I really don't think that this coming draft is the draft for quarterbacks for the Giants. So, let's go here. 25-yard line, Ryan back in the gun, throws over the middle to Julio. Julio gained about 7 yards on that and then threw the ball. I don't know if they call that incomplete or complete. They got the play clock stopped at 42 seconds. Do they call a timeout or?
I think they're saying it's incomplete here.
We'll see what happens. But, yeah, getting back to your question, so I don't think this is the draft coming up to replace Eli. I think the smart thing would be for New York to go out and maybe sign a veteran quarterback next year or give Manning one more shot. But I think Manning's on borrowed time. Ryan in the gun here from the 25-yard line, so they did call that an incomplete pass. 42 seconds left.
Replay showed that looked like it should have been a catch there. Ryan's going to throw it out to Julio Jones.
What is he doing?
Out on the right-hand side.
Julio Jones catches that for about an 11-yard gain, but then turns into the field of play when he was close to the sideline. you're a smart receiver there. You turn that to the outside and try to take that out of bounds.
Yeah.
Stop the clock.
And it looks like Fusco down for Atlanta.
Uh-oh. Another offensive
lineman going down here.
Yeah, they can't afford to lose Brandon Fusco. It's a right guard. That would be a big loss for them.
Tom says the Giants drafted a QB in the second round this past draft. Kyle something, he forgot his last name. That is exactly the point is, that didn't look good for Fusco. It looked like his back there.
Yeah, that looked
It looked like he got bent over.
But yeah, so
the wrong way.
Having this conversation with the beat writer, and again, we're Ravens fans, so that's kind of our talks are a lot about the Ravens. If the Ravens decide to go in the Lamar Jackson train next year, and the Ravens decide to cut Joe Flacco because of salary cap restraints, because if the Ravens cut Joe Flacco, they're going to save about $20 million under the cap. And if they go with Lamar Jackson as their quarterback of the future, the Giants could potentially look at a Joe Flacco or a free agent like a Joe Flacco as Eli's replacement, at least for a couple of years while you draft his replacement and you get him ready to go. And I think Flacco would be a good fit in New York.
Yeah, I mean,
could very well happen.
He goes back to having minimal weapons and an offensive line that is struggle. That's going to be the big thing, is shoring up that offensive line for whatever quarterback does come in next year.
Right.
So we got about 36 seconds left on the clock. Fusco is literally there. He's hobbling off the field. It looks like maybe something with his knee.
Tom Brady, you're absolutely right. Lamar Jackson's not a good pocket passer as of right now, but they haven't really shown enough of him yet. He's still, he's still young. He's still learning the NFL game, which is much different than what he played in college football. So we'll see what happens. He's got a full year to learn.
James says, so who's the Giants fan, you or me?
Neither one.
Exactly.
Neither one, James. Matt Ryan back in the gun, looking deep. He's got a man.
Julio Jones. And there's a flag on the play there.
Julio kind of baited the corner into that one as he went back to go field the ball and kind of looked intentional where he ran into the corner to draw the flag.
It looked like Ryan got hit on the play as well. Ryan shaking his hand off.
Yeah, that was a bit
Julio
of an
had the safety kind of beat, and the safety literally just ran into him and knew that was the case. It was Thomas, the safety, hit him before the ball even, while the ball was in the air.
Yeah, what gets him there is not only did he run into him. Oh yeah, Ryan hit the helmet of one of his linemen. What gets him there is not only did he run into Julio, but he wasn't looking at the ball. He wasn't playing the ball in any kind of way. So Matt Ryan from the 22-yard line, 23 seconds left, still got. They've used all their timeouts, so they're.
Julio was out to the right, sliding back out to the left, trips to the left.
Looking over the middle. He hit Hooper in the hands, but Hooper dropped it. It looked like he tried to catch that one-handed. Wasn't able to come up with the grab. 19 seconds left. It's going to be 2nd and 10.
Hector did ask us, so would we keep Lamar or keep Joe?
If it were my call, I'm keeping Joe all day long.
From what we've seen from Lamar, I would agree.
Yeah, I think Joe gives his team the best opportunity right now to win. I think Lamar's still another full year away from really being ready, if he's going to be ready, if he's going to be a legit NFL quarterback.
James says this is the second Giants game we've done live.
Just so happened to work out that way. Is
not intentional, James.
Ryan overthrows Julio Jones there in the end zone. I think he was just kind of throwing that out of play there to stop the clock with 14 seconds.
I was going to say 3rd and 10 from about the 22-yard line. About 14 seconds left on the clock here. I think you have enough to get one more. You have enough to get one more play off, and then get up and either spike the ball or get it out of bounds. And if you can't get into the end zone, you got to kick the field goal.
Ryan in the gun. He's got Coleman to his left. He's got 4 wide. Going to have to make a play
Dropping back here.
It's going to have to be in the end zone.
Looking back into the end zone. Oh, Julio Jones.
To Julio.
A little high.
It's actually good that wasn't complete, because if he would have caught that in bounds, he would have been tackled in bounds at the 5-yard line with seconds running off the clock. I don't know if they would have been able to get up on the line and spike that.
Yeah, no, you probably would have had about 8 seconds, 7 seconds. left on the clock.
So speaking of injuries here, Matt Bryant is now out as the Falcons' new kicker, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, comes in for a 40-yard attempt here. Again, the injury bug has affected Atlanta from top to bottom.
Looks like New York's going to call their final team timeout.
Tavecchio
is the name.
Giants trying to ice the kicker here, the new kicker for the Falcons.
Connor says on the Lamar thing that he's 2 years away from him. He's not a true NFL QB yet. When he throws the ball, they look like they're just floating like a balloon. You're right, absolutely. They're lobbed up there. They're wobbly most of the time. I'm not saying it needs to be a perfect ball because we've said it before. Peyton Manning didn't throw a great ball, but he threw the ball accurately. And Lamar just hasn't shown that. I think we've seen a total of, maybe 3 passes out of Lamar?
Yeah,
or 2?
A handful of passes out of Lamar. He's got a lot of work to do. And obviously the Ravens used a first-round pick on him for a reason. They obviously think that he can be their quarterback of the future. But again, as you said, Connor, and as I said earlier, I think he's 2 years away.
Yeah. Tavecchio on the snap. It's up, and it's just going to sneak through the left upright. So that'll be good.
As Atlanta 3 seconds goes up,
3 seconds left on the clock. Atlanta Falcons lead this game 10-3. I think you'll see the kickoff here. Knowing the Giants, they'll probably just run it.
Yeah.
I don't think that you'll get the playoff and do the knee. I would just run the clock out here if I'm them.
What's up, John? See you chiming in. Looks like the Falcons are winning 10-3 here as we wrap up the first half. Connor says, also another thing to add, when he runs, he holds the ball in one hand. He doesn't protect it. Yeah, there's a lot of things, again, that he does that he could get away with at the collegiate level that he can't get away with here at the NFL level. And I think a year or two behind Joe and having a mentor like RG3 there, which to James' credit, he mentioned RG3 a minute ago, I think is a lot of the reason that the Ravens brought him in is because they kind of knew, I think, the direction that they were going to go is they were going to try to get a quarterback like a Lamar in the draft and then have RG3 to kind of mentor him and show him, hey, learn from me, learn from my mistakes, learn from what I didn't do right early on in my career.
This kickoff is going to be fielded at about the 3-yard line. Giants are going to take it out. Gets out to about the 12-yard line before being tackled, one-handed tackle, and Henderson's going to go down. So that'll end the half. So we're going into the half, 10-3, Falcons into halftime. Again, if you're just getting in, as far as our live feed here, we're Birdland BS. He's Fred. I'm Scott. We have our normal podcast that we do. This is our second go around of doing a live stream of a game. We're going to try and start doing this a little bit more often. We had fun doing it. We've gotten a lot of feedback from you guys that you guys like it. So we're going to keep doing it. So far, it's been a great game defensively.
Yeah.
More so than we expected. We expect this to be a high scoring offensive game because these defenses are a little bit on the harsher side. Overall, as far as both of these teams, the Falcons come in this game 2-4 in their division. They are 2-1, so they're doing well in the division. But in the conference, they're 2-2. So with me, I was thinking this was going to be a high-scoring Falcons offense, and the defense for the Giants was just going to get blown out, and it's just not happening.
Yeah, to give you guys an update, John, I see you chiming in there, wanting to know how many yards Manning has. So Manning, for the first half, is 13 of 16 for 154 yards, to Matt Ryan's 12 of 18 for 193 yards. A lot of those yards coming late in the first half. He did have the one touchdown there, throw to Hall. Tevin Coleman, 5 carries on the night with 19 yards. Not a whole lot of running going on the Giants side with Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley's been involved more in the passing game, really, than he has been running the ball. Odell Beckham having a decent night so far. He's got the three receptions for 57 yards. Julio Jones on the other side, 5 receptions for 57 yards. So the two prolific wide receivers on the respective teams putting up decent numbers here so far.
Yeah, pretty even possession-wise too. It's only about a minute difference. We've seen the Giants have had possession for a total of about 15 minutes 48 seconds, and the Falcons for 14 minutes and 12 seconds. 14 minutes and 12 seconds. So a pretty even spread here on this game. More so than we expected. When you look at the rushing attempts, 9 rushing attempts for the Giants, 7 rushing attempts for the Falcons, average of 2.2 for the Giants, average of 3 for Atlanta. So the running game here has been kept pretty well in check from what we're used to seeing out of both of these teams between Coleman and Barkley.
Yeah.
And then like you said, the passing wise, 13 for 16 for the Giants, 12 of 18 for the Falcons. So definitely not the expectation that we had. So John says he's from Arizona. John, we are Birdland BS. We are first and foremost a Baltimore sports podcast. We've just recently gotten more into the aspect of doing these live feeds for the games, and we have fun. We're sitting back here, having a drink.
To answer your question, I'm drinking the Crab Shack Shandy. It's a Natty Boh, which is a Baltimore beers. For any of you Baltimore people out there, you guys will know about Natty Boh. This is their new seasonal beer, Crab Shack Shandy. It's kind of got like a little bit of a Blue Moon-ish kind of twist to it, or a
Leinenkugel Summer Shandy's another
kind of twist to it. It's a good beer, good cheap beer, and promoting local.
Exactly. we love our local stuff. Now he asked. John asked how many receptions does Julio have?
He has 5 receptions for 57 yards. That's what I was saying a minute ago. Yep.
Yeah. So, and James says James might get a win tonight in our fantasy league.
I got my fingers crossed for you, James. You got to get off the snide there in fantasy. 0-6 so far for the year. Got to get a win, man. Got to get a win.
Yeah, for you guys that are just kind of joining us or in, feel free to ask us any questions. And like we said, we're primarily a Baltimore sports podcast. We do our podcast every Tuesday, 8:45. This week will be the one exception. I have to go for potential dental surgery tomorrow night, so that'll be fun. Sitting here on medication right now, getting through it. But go check us out, because we have on our Facebook page, on our YouTube, like and subscribe down below so that you get notifications when we do go live. This week it'll be a Wednesday that we're actually going to do our show, but normally every Tuesday. We're regulars with that. We got some of our regular listeners that have been chiming in. But we talk Baltimore sports. We get into occasional, a little bit more national news. Yeah. We love our 2-minute warning, where we go through and rattle off a bunch of news that's local for you, as well as national. So for me, I think the big thing that I want to push people to is our website as well.
Yeah, birdlandbs.com. Go there and check it out, and you'll get all the audio for our podcast, for all of our different episodes. You could read a little bit about us personally, but also we've got all of our personalized gear on there, all the Birdland BS gear. We've got hats, we've got shirts, we've got hoodies, we've got everything.
And you can customize it too, by the way, guys. I actually put our Birdland BS logo on the back. And then I got one of our shirts on right now. You guys can see that. It's nice quality Under Armour style material. And then you can customize it on the back too, so you can see the @Birdland BS. On the back, you can get your name on it. You can get you can get a patch on the side. You can kind of get it. It's really awesome. It's fully customizable. Whatever you really want to add to it, it's awesome. Your name, your number, whatever you want.
Yeah. So while we're here at halftime, let's talk a little bit about some news going around with the NFL. We'll talk last night's big game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals. Obviously, this had some effects on us, being AFC North. We wanted to see the Bengals lose so that the Ravens stay atop there, tied with the Bengals for first place.
And boy, did they lose.
Mahomes is the real deal. If you guys have not taken the time to sit and watch this guy play the quarterback position, I mean, he is a magician. His ability to throw on the move accurately, and not just throw accurately, but be able to throw deep. The power that he has from his hips and from his arm is second to none. And this guy is just kind of getting started.
Yeah, what I mean?
Absolutely. He's going to get better and better.
By the way, did we mention he can throw with his left hand too?
Yeah. I mean, this guy is second level type stuff. I don't know if you guys saw the highlight that they were showing last night, but there was there was a game back in 2016 when Mahomes was in college. You know, it was Mahomes at Texas Tech against Baker Mayfield at Oklahoma, and these guys went at it. It was the most yardage ever thrown in a college football game. I think Mahomes had over 700 or something yards passing. I think he had over 800 total yards of offense himself. And then, you know, Baker Mayfield had over 500 yards passing. It was like 1,300 yards combined from these two quarterbacks. Baker ended up getting the win. I want to say it was like 50, or it was like 66 to 58 or something. It was a really, really close game. And these are just two guys so far that have really, really impressed me at the next level. Yeah, I mean, we have several people chiming in saying, you know, Mahomes, future Hall of Famer. Tom says, you know, obviously Tom being a Patriots fan, says he came up short to TB12 in the Pats, and he did, you know, but it was closer than what most people thought. And I think you saw at the end of the game, Tom Brady go over, and if you read hit Tom Brady's lips, it was basically like, a lot of respect for you, kid. And I'll be honest with you, you can't put that game on Mahomes. Mahomes didn't lose that game. His defense lost that game. His defense wasn't able to shut Tom Brady down. Mahomes did enough for them to win that game. But the defense, that's the one thing, if you're going to knock the Chiefs' ability to be a Super Bowl contender this year, it's their lack of defense. Now, granted, they stepped up huge in this Cincinnati game where, you know, the Chiefs went on to win 45-10, be able to shut down the Bengals offense, which has done pretty well so far this year, and only hold them to 10 points says something. But they definitely have some discrepancies on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, the defense is a little too consistent, but they are going against Tom. They did go against Tom Brady in that game, and let's not forget that Tom Brady is Tom Brady. Right. You know, you can't sit back on Tom Brady and think that he's not going to hurt you. Right. And Hector, you're right. Yeah, Baker had transferred from Tech to Oklahoma. And yeah, John, that was in 2016 during that game. You got to go back. I'm sure if you YouTube it, there's probably like game highlights of that game. It was incredible. It was a game that unfortunately I didn't get to watch live. I ended up watching a tape just because when I heard about it, I was like, oh my God, I got to see this. It was unreal. Texas Tech has always kind of been a high-soaring offense. So I was always a little skeptical on Mahomes coming out of the draft. I was like, is it more of a system type thing, you know, versus it actually being, is Mahomes really that good? So like when the Chiefs went all in on Mahomes and they made the trade for Alex Smith to the Redskins for this guy, I was like kind of questioning it. I'm like, man, they must really have a lot of faith in this kid. And boy, was I wrong, man. He has been everything that the Chiefs thought he'd be and more. Yeah, no, he's been, you know, with all the weapons that the Chiefs have, with the record that they have, could they have beaten and be undefeated like the Rams are? Absolutely. You know, that was the expectation, was it was going to be a tight game. I think it was a little more high scoring than most people thought it was going to be. Yeah. You know, Tom says, hey, Tom Brady's defense didn't look too good either. What about him struggling in the first half? Yeah, no, look, fair point. You know, the Patriots don't have the best defense in the league either. But you're talking also about one of the greatest, if not the greatest quarterbacks to ever do it against basically a rookie. I mean, he didn't play much in his first year in the NFL, so this is really his first go at it. And, I mean, played a damn good football game. I don't think Tom Brady's going to have Mahomes' number for his entire career. I'm sure Mahomes will eventually... Mahomes will find it, I'm sure. Eventually go over that hump. But, hey, look, to Tom Brady and the Patriots' credit, they were able to beat the Chiefs. That's the one loss that they have so far. But it's a 16-game schedule. You know, Chiefs are on a good pace to be one of the top seeds in the AFC. Hector asks, where do we see the Browns in 2 years? The Browns are on the right path. Finally, the Browns are on the right path. They've made some really good decisions lately in the draft. You know, they got Myles Garrett defensively on the end. That guy is an absolute animal. I think the Jarvis Landry signing was a pretty good signing. I think that him and Mayfield will get it together. Obviously, Jarvis had a lot of receptions this week. That's kind of what he does. You know, he's not a big yardage guy, but he catches a lot of balls. You know, Njoku raw tight end with a lot of talent. And I really do like Baker Mayfield. I think that guy, he's a gamer. There's all these comparisons that people want to make and all that kind of stuff. And I'll compare his personality to the Favre-like personality. He's got that fire under his belt. He's got that, like, just that ultimate desire to be a football player, to be a competitor. He's not afraid to get in your face after a play and talk a little trash. I like that about him. So I think the Browns in 2 years could be a playoff team. Not going to say they're going to be a Super Bowl bound team, but I will say that the Browns will be a playoff team in 2 years.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They are on the right path, like you said. They're headed towards being able to have that contending, Super Bowl type team, but they're still a few years away from it.
James makes a good point. They need a new head coach, and that's absolutely true. I think personally, I do think Hugh Jackson's on the hot seat, and I think as he should be, and I think a lot of the Hard Knocks stuff kind of exposed him and exposed his softness in a lot of ways. I think he's kind of soft as a head coach. I think he was a good offensive coordinator, a good quarterback coach. But some people just aren't cut out to be the head guy, and I don't think he has it. Yeah. And I think he's another guy playing on borrowed time.
All right, so we're gonna get started with the second half here. Falcons about to kick it off to the Giants.
Falcons lead 10-3.
I'm assuming it's gonna be Henderson's gonna be the deep man here in the end zone. And he's going to let it fall out into the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Tom, I wasn't saying the Browns in the Super Bowl. I said Browns in a playoffs. Yeah, I think they could be a wild card or even competing for the division in a couple years. You got to remember,
not this year.
The Steelers are going to regress. The Steelers are going to lose Ben Roethlisberger here within the next couple of years to retirement. The Ravens, is Lamar Jackson really the future? We'll see. The Bengals, you just never know what you're going to get. That's another head coach. Marvin Lewis is playing on borrowed time. We'll see.
Eli under center. Saquon to the right. Looks fake handoff to Odell. Saquon gets the run out. It's going to be about a 10-yard gain on the pitch out to Saquon. So it looks like it's going to be a first down.
Yeah, good on the Giants for committing to Saquon again. This is your workhorse. This is the guy that's going to make or break you. It starts with him. And they come out here in the second half and hand it off right over to Saquon for a first down. Huh? Sure.
All right, I'll be right back.
Tom Brady still has 5 or 6 more years. We'll see. That guy, if there's anybody in the NFL, it looks like Eli under pressure gets sacked, but he throws the ball away just directly at his offensive lineman. No flags for intentional grounding as of yet. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. Tom Brady, if there's anybody in the NFL that could play until he's 50, it could be him for sure. Just some of the conversations I've heard him have with interviews lately, it doesn't sound like he wants to play that long. I think he might be around for another 2, maybe 3 at most. 5 or 6 might be stretching it, but he could. If he wanted to, he could. Manning back in the gun. He's got Saquon to his right. He's got trips to his right. Saquon up the middle. Gets just past the line of scrimmage for maybe a gain of 1. It's going to be 3rd down and long here. Yeah, Will Hernandez there on that last play. I mean, he just got blown by the defensive tackle. He has been kind of a disappointment so far on the offensive line for the Giants. Again, this is a team that I don't know where they find these offensive linemen at the local fast food chain or what's going on, but they are struggling from a line perspective. It's 3rd down and 8. Manning back in the gun, takes a snap, looks over the middle, can't find somebody, throws it over the middle, and it's complete to Sterling Shepard for a big gain down to the 25, 20, makes a guy miss, 15, 10, down at about the 10-yard line, but there's a flag on the play. Big gain by Sterling Shepard there. We'll see what the flag's for. Manning's down on, going down the field as if it's going to be against the Falcons. We'll see what the call is here, but huge gain there for Sterling Shepard and the Giants. There's holding on the defense. Number 23, penalty is declined. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Giants here from their 10-yard line. Big play for Sterling Shepard and the Giants.
Heard you calling that. Beautiful catch. Just barely, too.
Yeah.
Fingertip type catch.
Was able to break away from the corner and then make a couple guys miss, and here we are, 1st and 10. 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Manning under center. He's got 2 guys wide. Hand off to Saquon. Saquon makes 1 cut, goes up the middle, gains about 2 yards. It's going to get down to about the 8-yard line. Brother Peyton in the house. Looks like he's up in the suites watching Eli, or maybe not. Maybe just conversing with somebody.
Oh, he's holding. They got a picture of him holding a Giants hat, just sitting back and watching pre-game. His face is looking like, you did that wrong.
Yeah, Peyton, like, you know what? I could suit up and still do it better than you could. I ain't throwing a football in a couple years. Manning under center. He's got 1 wide receiver right, 1 wide receiver left. Play action, rolls right. Manning's going to run for it. He gets down to about the 1 yard line. Didn't extend for the goal line. He was close enough that he could have extended for the pylon there, but he didn't. And they forced him out of bounds at the 1 yard line. I don't know if he was scared of fumbling the ball there, but he kept the ball tucked away and just went out at about the 1.5 yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and goal with about a yard and a half to go.
Eli getting excited about his brother getting close. Eli looks like he's trying to hide a little bit, or not Eli, Peyton. I'm sorry, looking like he was trying to hide a little bit from the cameras. He'll have a camera on him all night.
I got a big forehead, but man, he's got the size of a Buick. Good Lord. Eli under center here. He's got 2 wide receivers to the right. Here comes Saquon. Cuts it up the middle. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Second try, and he was stopped again.
Yeah. They had sent Saquon Barkley out to the right wide, then brought him in motion and hit him with the handoff, and he tried to cut it up the field there and stopped at the line of scrimmage. They made a second attempt and was stopped again. It's going to be 4th and goal. It'll be interesting to see here what the Giants do. Do the Giants take the points, or do they try to get this touchdown here on 4th down and maybe a 1.5 yards or 2 yards now?
So this is where you have to. This is a spot where you do dial up a trick type play. You need to get the points on the board. You need to be able to score. Sanat
down for the Falcons. Another defensive injury for the Falcons as the clock is stopped. They attend to Sanat. Wow. Another injury. I don't know how many people they've got left on this roster here for the Falcons, but man, they've had some serious injuries on the defensive side of the ball.
That's the thing is ultimately when you start getting to this time of the year, you start seeing a little bit more and more injuries for all of these teams wanting to try and preserve, especially any team that may be looking like they're in the hunt for the playoff runs.
Yeah.
You have to put something in reserve and have these guys, not be playing on completely out of their reserve tank when you get to the playoffs. So we got a lot of people saying that the Giants should go for it. Connor says flat route on Saquon or fullback.
Yeah, it looks like Sanat's the one that's down for the Falcons. It's a commercial now, so I haven't been able to confirm that, but that's looked like it was down on the field.
Hector says 1 and 5, they better go for it.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, Hector. At this point, you try to be aggressive. You know that the Falcons are, a high potent offensive team. You got to get as many points as you can, and how many opportunities you're going to get this close to the end zone. Go for it if you're Eli and the Giants here.
Yeah, you have to be able to go for it. You have to know, that you trust, you have to trust your offensive line is going to be able to keep up, protect Eli if you're going to go for a pass, or, be able to push hard enough Because that's the other side of things, you know, with Saquon. It's why he does so many of his runs. He doesn't run up the gut because he can't run up the gut when you've got an offensive line that can't even protect your own quarterback.
That's exactly right.
So that's why you see Saquon getting out to the sideline so much, is because he has no other choice.
Hey, we got about 30 of you guys in here watching right now. Do us a favor while you're here. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up or hit subscribe to our channel. Turn on your notifications. That way, anytime we do these broadcasts, which seems like it's going to be on Monday Night Football maybe moving forward for the rest of the year, you guys will know and you guys can tune in and watch along with us. We appreciate all the commentary. We appreciate all the interaction for sure. And it does look like the Giants are going to go for it here as they come out.
Eli rolls out. Looks like he's going to dump it off. And it's going to be incomplete, intended for Johnson.
Yeah, it looked like he had Odell Beckham there if he'd have thrown it quickly, but looked like Manning was a little indecisive. Tried to go back across his body over the middle to the tight end. Ball hit off the tight end's arm.
Yeah, I agree.
Went in the air.
Eli had Odell here.
Yeah, that was a poor throw. Poor throw, poor decision. If he would have hit Odell Beckham there right away.
Yeah, Odell was headed towards the front pylon.
It would have been a touchdown.
And it would have been a touchdown. No doubt there.
Wow. Connor says, Giants need to be like the Ravens from last year. Inside the two fake to running back, pass it to the fullback. Yeah, it worked a lot. Worked very well with Ricard last year for sure. All right,
looks like they're going to hand the ball off to Coleman. Coleman's going to push forward. And it looks like they're going to give him about 1 yard here.
Falcons playing out of their end zone here, trying to run the ball and get a little bit of breathing room. Get about a yard there, so it's going to be 2nd down and 9 for the Falcons. Falcons lead 10-3 here with just over 11 minutes left in the third quarter.
So we're going to see 2nd and 9 from the Atlanta 3-yard line. Matt Ryan going to line up in the shotgun.
He's got Austin Hooper in motion. Brings him over to the left side. Now Mohamed Sanu in motion. He's got 3 wide. Looking over the middle.
Pass to Julio Jones
for a gain of about 10 or 11 yards there for a first down.
It's going to be Atlanta 13-yard line.
Julio Jones with a big catch there. Almost dropped the ball, but strong arm, strong hands. He was able to hold on to the ball as he got hit by Landon Collins there. It's going to be 1st down and 10 from the 13-yard line.
And yes, Hector says breathing room. Yes, it is a little bit of breathing room for them out of that end zone.
Matt Ryan lines up under center. He's got Sanu in motion. He's got 4 wide.
Coleman lined up back behind him. Face off to Coleman short.
Yeah,
it's going to be over the head of Sanu Jr. to the left, or Sanu Sr., I'm sorry, to the left.
Matt Ryan felt the pressure there as the corner was coming on a blitz. Ryan didn't have a whole lot of time, just threw the ball in the direction of Sanu, but out of bounds intentionally so that he didn't take the sack there.
Is James really trying to talk baseball in the middle of this?
Dodgers in 5, guys. Man, I think that's going to be
it's going to be
a pretty
shootout.
Good series. Yeah,
it's going to be a great series.
A lot of big names in that series.
All right, so you got Matt Ryan lined up in the shotgun. The step back, getting a little bit of pressure here, and he's going to throw it short and left.
I think his arm was hit. Looked like his arm was hit. The ball was short. Either that or that was a bad route.
Yeah, that was an Ogletree on the pressure there. I'm assuming it was Ogletree got a hand on Matt Ryan's arm there.
Hector, he sparked something with Hector. Hector says Sox in 4. Wow, you're calling a sweep in the World Series, huh, Hector? All right, I can do that.
He says James is smoking something good. All right,
Ryan in the gun here,
3 wide,
making an audible call at the line here from the 13. It's 3rd down and 10.
Matt Ryan gets back,
pressure.
And he's going to be sacked for a 6-yard or 7-yard loss.
Down at about the 5-yard line, but there's a flag on the field.
It looks like it's going to be on the Giants for defensive holding. So that's going to put it at the Atlanta 13.
Sorry, guys. Haven't eaten dinner yet, so throwing some chips down.
You're eating chips, I'm sneezing. All right, so it's now gonna be
that should be a first down.
It should be first down. First and 10 on the Atlanta 18. Coleman's going to go out to the right, and he's going to be sacked or he's going to be hit for no gain. A little chippiness with Ortiz, offensive lineman, getting a little chippy afterwards.
Hector and James going back at it over the baseball game. That's great.
Keep it clean, boys. Keep it clean. No hitting below the belt here. Oh, my goodness.
So 2nd and 10 here for the Atlanta Falcons. Looks like Matt Ryan.
Calvin Ridley wide to the right.
It's got
Julio Jones wide to the left. Sanu in the slot. They're going to hand it off to Coleman. Coleman's going to get about 2 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 10. Or I'm sorry, it'll be third and 8 here.
I expected Tevin Coleman to have a little bit better of a game than this, with Freeman, being out for the year now. I expected him with being the lead back that he'd kind of flourish in that role a little bit, being that he's, never really been the lead back so far, but so far not so good. What? Matt Ryan in the gun. Which got pressure, throws it over the middle.
Smith gets a big gain here. 20-yard gain onto the Atlanta 40-yard line. Ogletree on the stop.
Wow, big gain. Looked like Giants come in and an all-out blitz, and that's exactly what happened. And Ryan was able to get that out over the middle to Smith for a big gain, like you said, for about 20 yards.
All right, Matt Ryan back under center in the I formation. Fake to the handoff. Looks like he's going to throw it across the middle, and it's going to be right to Hardy. Hardy's going to get a gain of about 15 yards. Riley on the stop.
Atlanta finally starting to move. I mean, considering they started this at the 1 yard line.
Yeah, they're on the Giants 45 right now.
They're now in Giants territory. Ryan staying in the gun here on 1st and 10. He's got 2 wide. He's got 2 running backs.
Coleman.
Now he sends Coleman out and Smith out.
Looks like there's going to be some pressure from the Giants defense. He gets the ball off.
Throws it out to Hooper. Or no, that's not Hooper. That's Ortiz. Hits Ortiz kind of in the flat there for about a gain 7.
Yeah.
It's going to be 2nd and 3 here for the Falcons. Just under 7 minutes left here in the third quarter. Again, Falcons leading the Giants 10-3.
So we got 2nd and 3 on the Giants 38-yard line.
Again, 28 of you guys watching out there, please chime in. Any questions that you have, let us know. Matt Ryan under center gives the ball off to
Smith.
Smith with about a 6 or 7 yard gain there up the middle. First down, Falcons.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be. Looks like it's going to be 2nd and. First and 10 on the 32.
Grab another beer here.
One left. All right.
1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Matt Ryan under center. He's got a guy in motion. Looking over the middle, deep down the middle to Julio. Julio kind of put that ball away from his body. Are they going to rule that a fumble?
It sounds like they're going to roll it incomplete. I think this play may go to under review here.
Yeah.
I think you got to review this play. It looked like he had a catch.
He caught it, but then kept the ball
2. He's moving. Now here's the movement of the ball. The ball is still moving. It's hard to say. That could be a catch fumble.
For those who can't see it, so basically Julio catches the ball, tries to bring it into his body. The defender puts his arm in to break it up, so Julio tries to push the ball away from his body to keep it away from the defender. The ball becomes loose as he's going to the ground, and then Julio loses control. So
looks like the Giants are going to challenge this.
I think the Giants are going to challenge that it was actually a completed pass and then it was a fumble.
Which the Giants then recovered.
Right. So we'll see what happens here because the ruling on the field was an incomplete pass. Again, there'd have to be conclusive evidence that it was complete. As you mentioned, he caught the ball. It looked like he took about 2 steps and then the ball became loose. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's that whole catch football move thing.
Coleman or Freeman, who would you guys keep? To me, I still really like what Devontae Freeman brings to the table. He's got the ability, the big play ability. He can also cut it up the middle and get the tough yardage for you.
But Coleman's not a bad choice either, right?
Coleman's
that's
a good.
What makes it hard.
Yeah, they're a very good 1-2 combo to each other. Coleman complements Freeman nicely, and as we can see, I don't think Coleman's really built to carry the load. I think he's a good back, but I don't think he's an RB1.
Hector asked fumble or no fumble. Hector, they ruled it no fumble. They ruled it an incomplete pass, but the Giants, it looks like, have challenged the play and are saying that they feel it's going to. They feel it should have been a catch followed up by a fumble. In my opinion, it looks like it should have been a fumble.
Yeah, if it's me, I think I'm ruling that a fumble. You know how these challenges can be sometimes. Like I said, they need it to be conclusive. Even watching the replay, to me, though, it looked like it. As I said, he kind of caught the ball, brought it into his body, had control of it, took 2 steps, but then as that defender got his hand in, tried to push the ball away from his body, and that's where it became loose as he was going to the ground.
Yeah, the ball was rolling around when he hit the ground, and it popped out shortly after he hit the ground.
Right.
So I think this will be ruled. This will be ruled a catch followed up by a fumble. I think you agree.
Yeah. We'll see. You never know. You can never predict these
no.
reviews. The reviews.
You swear it'll be one way, and then they come out and say, "Oh, it was this way," or that there wasn't enough evidence.
Exactly.
That's always how it winds up going.
Yep.
So those of you guys out there, like we said, hit subscribe, hit the like button below, so when we go live. Looks like it's still in review. They're reviewing this one for a little while longer than I would imagine that I felt that they needed to.
Right.
Making sure that every angle is covered, making sure they felt he had. The big thing here is that he had the catch and he had possession. So they are saying it was a catch followed by a fumble recovered by the Giants.
It'll be
so
first
the call
and 10 for the Giants.
Will be reversed, 1st and 10 for the Giants.
I don't know why they didn't just call us.
Yeah, I know, right? We saw that from the get-go.
We could have saved them about, a minute worth of time.
We could have saved them a commercial break, but then again, they want that money.
Exactly. NFL's all about that paper.
So definitely recovered, and it's funny because they're finally recovered by Apple. There is one thing about that rule, with the recovery. Apple was never actually even touched after getting the ball.
Yeah, but you can't advance it.
Yeah, you can't advance it in that sense. But that's the one thing about that rule is that who knows where that play plays out.
Right. All right, so Eli Manning and the Giants offense here takes over. It's 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line. Manning under center. He's got Saquon Barkley in the backfield. 2 wide receivers wide. Play action pass. Manning steps in the pocket, throwing deep. He's got Odell, but there's a flag on the field.
Down to about the 30.
That goes down at the 30. Atlanta 30-yard line. A big gain there, but there's a flag on the field, and this one might be coming back. We'll see.
I'm wondering if this
might be calling holding again on the defense.
Looks like they may be calling holding on Alford. And that's exactly what they're going to call. They're going to call defensive holding. And you got to decline this if you're the Giants. Huge play.
Huge play. Good deep ball there thrown by Manning. It's one thing I've been pretty critical on Manning was his ability to throw the deep ball. But Beckham makes a move on his defender, but man, he had his arms all over him holding his jersey. So that's a good call by the refs there, but Beckham able to break free and make the catch.
All right, Eli under center.
Here from the 29-yard line.
And it looks like he's going to dump it off to Odell. Odell's going to make a little move and then step out of bounds as he stiff arms Alford at the same time. It's going to be a gain of about 7. Puts him at the Atlanta 22.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing when they look at some of these stats. Odell Beckham, one of the fastest to reach 5,000 receiving yards in NFL history. It took him 54 games to do so. Julio, in retrospect, took 56 along with Randy Moss.
Yeah.
56. It's pretty incredible when you look at the stats. It's his 23rd career game with 100 receiving yards.
All right, they're going to hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley, and he's going to get about 4 yards.
Looks like he's going to be right down at the marker. They may have to, depending on where they spot, they may have to bring out the chains and measure this. We'll see where they spot the ball.
Yeah, if they give him a generous spot here, it'll be first down on the Atlanta 18.
4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Giants driving, trail by 7s, 10-3 Atlanta. Looks like they are going to give the Giants the first down, so it's 1st and 10 now for the Giants here. Eli in the gun from the 18-yard line. He's got Saquon off to his right. He's making his call to the line. He's got 4 wide. Looks like the Falcons are threatening the pressure, but drop back in coverage. Manning with the quick throw out to Ingram, but Ingram was not ready. I think he ran a bad route on that. Manning is pretty frustrated with Evan Ingram on that one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's one thing that we've seen out of Eli on a consistent basis is not happy with the route running of his receivers. Whether that is coaching, whether that is Eli not, anticipating that these guys are going to be running a little bit shorter route or a little bit deeper route. You do have to also play a factor into where these guys playing, where are they running to.
Manning in the gun.
5 yards.
He's got 4 wide. Saquon to his right as well. Atlanta bringing some heat. Throws over the middle to Sterling Shepard, but the ball bounces off his chest. Incomplete pass.
Carter on the coverage there.
It's going to be 3rd and 10. This one's big for the Giants, man. They need to...
This is their second time in the red zone here.
Yeah. Need to start making these count for touchdowns.
Yeah, you got 3rd and 10 on the Atlanta 18. He can't afford another incomplete pass here. And tell you what, that's what it looks like they're lining up to do. He does have Saquon out to his left, but he's got 3 wide out to the right, 1 out to the left. Looks like Ingram's out to the left. Looks like he's going to step up into the pocket. Throws over the middle, intended for Shepard, but way overthrown by about a foot and a half. 2 feet over his head. So it's going to be incomplete, and now they're faced with 4th and 10. Got to go for the field goal here at this point.
Got to take the point. Still early. Still got a full quarter. You got 3.5 or almost 4 minutes left here in the third quarter. So you take the points, but got to be disappointed if you're Eli Manning in the offense here, not getting another touchdown. You had an opportunity. Eli now 1 for 6 in the red zone. Not good numbers.
Yeah, no. Rosas hits the kick, and it is right down the middle. So now we've got a 10-6 game, 10-6 in the Falcons' favor.
We got about 30, 31 of you guys out there watching us right now. Be sure while you're there, hit the thumbs up while you're watching. Hit subscribe. We appreciate that. If you're not going to subscribe, at least do us a favor and hit the thumbs up. We got 30 of you guys out there, but we only got 6 thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate all you guys out there watching. I mean, if you've been sitting here watching us, you definitely have liked what you've heard. So we appreciate that. So let us know that you're liking what you hearing. I mean, like I said, if you've been tuning in, you've been watching us thus far, you're obviously liking what you're hearing. So give us that thumbs up. Be sure to check us out too on our other social media platforms. We're on Twitter at Birdland BS, as you can see right on my hat there. At Fred Birdland, at Fred BLBS, at Scott BLBS. And then also check us out on Facebook, on YouTube. Obviously, you can like and subscribe to anytime that we go live. We're a Baltimore sports podcast first and foremost. but we've been getting into doing some of these live games. So it looks like we're going to be doing it every Monday night. Trying to move from here on forward. Maybe try and hit as many of them as we can. So definitely comment and let us know how you feel about the show. Let us know if you have any questions or anything like that. We'd be happy to hear what you have to say and answer any questions.
Appreciate you guys hitting the thumbs up. We just asking you guys, and we just doubled it. We went from 6 to 12.
There we go. We appreciate
that. Hector, I know you can only hit it once, my brother. I know you got it. We're good. Just appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in. And again, any questions that you have, any interaction that you want to make with us, we encourage it. Helps us kind of fill the time. Remember, we're doing this whole thing commercial free.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of time that we need to fill with some stuff. So we're
sitting here for 3 hours.
So we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we appreciate the interaction for sure.
And be sure to check us out on our website too, www.birdlandbs.com. You can find a bunch of stuff there. You can find all of our podcast episodes as well as things about us and our gear, which I'm wearing. Fred's got some as well. So we're always, we always appreciate it. And on that gear, by the way, if you like what we're doing and you like what we do, that gear, it's actually no cost. We're making no profit on that.
Right.
So we appreciate that.
Hector asks us, what's our take on Le'Veon Bell? I'll let you go with that one.
Le'Veon Bell is, at this point, holding out this much. I'd love to see a replacement style situation come through in Pittsburgh where he gets out on the field and the offensive line, the first play call that they know he's getting the ball for sure, they just step back and let him get nailed. Because that's the way that they feel he is. It's a me team, and people will argue that it's
a business.
It's a business, and you shouldn't get in somebody else's money and da da da. Well, guess what? You may not be winning games because he's not there. So I do have every right as a lineman to get in your money because I'm supposed to be there to protect you, and you're supposed to be there to help me win games.
It's the ultimate team sport. And,
exactly.
He is making about himself, which like I said, I understand from a business perspective. He's a heck of a football player. I think he'll end up somewhere, but I don't think he's going to be in Pittsburgh much longer.
Matt Ryan fakes the handoff, and he's going to dump it off. Looks like to was that Hooper?
No, it wasn't Hooper.
Sobert.
Yep, Sobert. Yep, with the catch there for about an 8-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd down and 2 here for the Falcons. Opinions on Calvin Ridley in fantasy. Inconsistent. I think he's had some big games and he's had some high moments, but I think moving forward, years to come, I think he'll be a good good complementary receiver to Julio Jones. But this year, inconsistent.
And they're going to hand the ball off to Coleman. Coleman looks like he's going to get
about to the first down marker. It's going to be real close, depending upon where they spot him. Looks like they're going to
put him at the 25. Looks like they're going to get him a first down.
There you go. If he comes back week 7 or week 8, he can get traded. That's absolutely right. And I think the Eagles might be a team that come knocking for Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, it's a team that needs some help.
Jay Ajayi going down.
Yeah,
that killed me in fantasy, him going down.
They're too one-dimensional right now. They need some help at running back. Matt Ryan under center here on 1st down and 10 from the 25-yard line. There's a flag on the field. Might have been a false start. Here on the offense, it's going to be a 5-yard penalty and replay 1st down here.
Angel asked what the score was. If you look below, Angel, we've got the score. Falcons 10, Giants 6. We're about 2 minutes at this point into... I'm sorry. I guess actually we're 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, somewhere down in there.
It's your boy JT asks, Amari going to back to the top 10 receiver in Dallas. Top 10's a little bit of a stretch. He'll definitely be a more productive receiver in Dallas than he was in Oakland. They just weren't giving them the ball.
4 wide for Ryan. Ryan steps back, feels a little bit of pressure. He's going to get it out to Coleman. Coleman's going to get it out to about the 40-yard line.
Big gain there for Atlanta.
Huge gain for Atlanta on that play.
Yeah, I like the move of Amari going to Dallas as well, James. I just think that Dak Prescott... I've always been one to think that Dak Prescott's a little overrated. I think Ezekiel Elliott's a good running back there, but
now Ryan fakes the handoff, gets it out to Sanu. Sanu looks like he's going to get about a 4-yard gain, maybe 5 there.
True or false? John Gruden has destroyed my Raiders. Destroyed's a strong word, but completely gutted and rebuilt. Yes, they've got
John Gruden's.
They've got 3 first-round draft picks next year right now, and there's no end to some of these moves. They could end up with more picks. So I think it's a process with John Gruden. I've questioned some of his moves, but we'll see what happens in the future. Matt Ryan under center here. He's in the I formation. They hand off to who's that? Smith? Yeah. Smith can't get back to the line of scrimmage. Might have lost about a half a yard on that play. It's going to be 3rd down here for the Falcons.
Mr. Tim Dong says hi.
What's going on, Mr. Dong?
And James says he's just trying to put his name on that team. And I agree. I think Gruden is exactly what Gruden is trying to do at this point. Gruden is trying to get his name on the team. And he's also trying to establish control in that locker room and say that, he is the coach. Right. The team is not going to run that team. He's going to run that team. And I think that's what he's trying to say.
Matt Ryan here in the gun takes a snap here on 3rd down. Looking, felt pressure, gets the ball off and gets it complete to Sanu, but tackled short here after a gain of about 2 yards. It's going to be 4th down. And it looks like...
Is that Sanu or Ridley?
It looked like Sanu, but I couldn't tell for sure.
Huh. Tim Dong says Saquon Barkley, he's back on his go Saquon, he's back on his fantasy team.
I hope it's a PPR league for you, at least in this game anyway. He's got a lot of receptions in this game, catching the ball out of the backfield. So he's had a good game, just hadn't got the ball in the end zone yet as the Giants continue to struggle in the red zone. Eli's looked decent between the 20s, but at least in this game, can't get it in the red zone, can't get it in the end zone.
Yeah, we got almost 40 of you guys watching now. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
We've got, I think, sitting on 13 likes now. So if you haven't hit the like button, hit that like button right below. Let us know that you like it. We're going to keep doing these so you can keep tuning in. And hit that subscribe button so that you can tune in and get a notification every time we go live. We go live for our podcast every week. And then we also we're going to start doing this more on the regular. It looks like we're going to try and hit all the Monday Night Football games, hopefully for the rest of the year. So we'll be going live for all those. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you can know when we go live. You don't have to go searching for us. And be sure, let us know how you did find us. I know a lot of people last time said that they searched for us and were able to find us through YouTube and searching. Let us know how you were able to find this feed and this live stream. Hector says, how much of a problem is Sark?
I mean, it contributes to both coordinators. I think the Atlanta Falcons have a very, very talented offense. They're riddled with injuries defensively. The Giants offensively are awful on the offensive line. Again, Eli's playing in borrowed time. Eli doesn't have much time left. Defensively for the Giants, I mean, I think their front seven has played decently so far this year. Not getting a lot of sacks, but getting pressure on the quarterback has been okay. I think they struggle on the back end, Landon Collins being the one exception. Eli Apple's been okay. But both of these teams struggle defensively. They're two of the worst teams defensively, so there's a lot.
Yeah. Tim says that he found us through a friend. Through his friends.
Appreciate it, Tim. Yeah, make sure you guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe. We appreciate it. As the Falcons line up here for a 50-yard field goal from the left hash. Snap is good. Kick is up. It's straight. Does it have the distance? And it does. As the new kicker, what'd you say his name is?
Tavecchio.
There you go. Makes a 50-yard field goal as the Falcons go up 13-6 here on the Giants. It's a big kick.
Yeah, no, huge kick. They needed to get. They really needed to get another score here to make it really ultimately a 2-point game, and that's exactly it's still a one. I'm sorry, not a 2-point game, a 2-score game, or get closer to that point. Ultimately, I think they would have rather have had the touchdown there to be able to get up and be absolutely 2 scores ahead. But they'll settle for that field goal. Still a 1-score game.
Got Matt Ryan off of free agency this year. That's pretty good free agent pickup to have. At least, especially if he's just your bench option for your quarterback. I'm sure if you drafted a guy, I'm sure you had somebody ranked a little higher than Matt Ryan. But Matt Ryan's a good bench quarterback to have for sure. Spot start.
Yeah.
The kick is up from Atlanta. It's going to be deep in the end zone. Giants field it. We're going to take a knee and get the ball out to the 25-yard line as Eli Manning comes back out on the field. Still, look.
14:55 left in the fourth quarter, by the way.
Yeah. Still a one-possession game here as the Giants trail by 7. Eli, as bad as he has been in the red zone, still a one-possession game.
Yeah, no, it's still a one-possession game. They need a big play here. I think you need to see Saquon break one off a little bit if you're the Giants. Get downfield and open up the passing game a little bit. We've seen a few good passes over the middle and down the sideline to Odell. So Eli's got to open up some. Odell in motion. They're going to hand it off to Odell, and he's barely going to make it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, past that play there was read well by the defense from the start as Odell came in motion. Eli handed the ball off to Odell on a crossing route here and couldn't get back to the line of scrimmage, or if he did, he lost a yard. So it's going to be 2nd and 11. Yeah, Matt Bryant had a pulled hamstring, exactly. Yeah.
All right, Eli's going to line up in shotgun. Odell going in motion again. And they're going to dump it off.
Screen to Evan Ingram.
Ingram again. Looks like he's going to get a gain of about 8.
7 or 8, yeah. Looks like it's going to be 3rd down at about 3 here. 2 or 3 for the Giants. Yeah, it's going to be 2.
By the way, that field goal from Tavecchio was a 50-yarder.
Yeah. 14 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. 3rd down and 2 for the Giants. Eli in the gun. Saquon Barkley to his right. Or no, actually, Eli up on the line now. Saquon Barkley to his right. Dumps it off to Barkley in the backfield, and Falcons read that all the way.
Lost about 5 there.
Yeah, Barkley lost about 5 or 6 on that bad play call. Eli... Giants going to have to punt.
It's your boy JT asks, he traded Bell for Mixon week 3. He's asking for our thoughts on that trade. Honestly, with the way
great trade.
With the way everything is played out, I agree. I think that's a great trade. I think you have to, we have to remember, most fantasy leagues are going to end before the playoffs even come close to starting. So you've got to get yourself in the playoffs quick and early. And with a guy who isn't coming in until, at this point, potentially week 8, maybe even week 9, depending on when he actually gets everything figures out. That's a good trade. From what Mixon has done for the Bengals and how he's been able to help drive that offense in some games, it's a good trade.
Mixon's been a top 10 running back all year so far. The Bengals offense has been pretty dynamic so far this year, and Mixon's a big part of that. Bell, there's no guarantees with this guy, and even if he does come back week 8, it's still going to take him a little bit of time to get back into football shape, and to get comfortable in the offense. And then, even then, James Conner, he's done pretty well there in Pittsburgh. So how much really are they going to use him? I'm not saying that they won't use him, but I think it's going to be more of a split backfield between Conner, because they're not going to abandon Conner altogether. No. Conner's had too good of a year so far. So yeah, definitely a good deal there for you, for sure. I would not have made that trade if I was on the other end of that. Could you guys give a shout out to Enza Danino from her weightlifting partners down at the CX gym? Absolutely. Shout out to Enza Danino. Is it Danino? Danino?
I would say that would be Danino.
Danino. At the CX gym. Absolutely. Appreciate you guys tuning in.
Angel says this reminds her as a kid growing up listening to the radio because they didn't have TV. boy, how time has changed.
Yeah, it's kind of got that old school feel to it. This is our this is our second go around and actually doing this, so we're trying to get better with this. It hopefully will improve week to week. We're doing this completely commercial free. We don't have any notes here. We're all doing this off the top of the head. Trying to interact with you guys as much as possible. That's, I guess, the one difference here with the radio is that we're doing live interactions here, but we really do appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yeah, we got 44 of you guys out there watching. Look, we appreciate everything you guys are doing.
Hit like. That helps us, man. Each one of you guys. Appreciate you tuning in.
Every time you guys hit like, you got to remember with the YouTube, if you don't understand how the algorithms and everything work, the more you guys like the stuff that we do, the higher we get when you start doing those searches for stuff like this. So if you're trying to get us out to your friends and your family, definitely make sure that you hit that button. Neen Pubi, I think is how it's said.
Neen Pubai?
Pubai says needs more beer. Well, we had beer and we ran out.
Cheers, buddy.
So yes, we need more beer.
There you go.
So I'm now drinking Crown Royal.
You're not wrong with that.
No.
Do you think Calvin Ridley will surpass Julio's legacy in Atlanta? Now that's not going to happen. Look, I said it earlier for those of you guys that are just tuning in. Julio to me is well, here we go. Matt Ryan takes a snap, look downfield, he dumps the ball off to Tevin Coleman, or actually to Smith. Smith with a good 8-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd down and 2. Julio is a great wide receiver that I think the Falcons underutilize. I mean, he's one of the least productive wide receivers in the red zone, which I do not understand. The guy has great body control. He's a big wide receiver. He's strong. He's everything that you would want in the red zone. I do not understand why they don't use him. But regardless, between the 20s, he puts up crazy statistics. He's still number 2 in the NFL in yardage. So
Hector says Julio is Julio. But, it's your boy JT says Ridley does have potential, and I agree with that.
Well, he has potential, but I just can't see him being better than Julio. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and we're going to see a dump pass off to Ortiz, who's just going to get a little bit past the line of scrimmage. It looks like they're going to mark this about 6 to 8 inches shy of the first down. Matt Ryan did a fake handoff, felt a lot of pressure, turned around, just dumped it off to Ortiz. Ortiz makes one guy miss. The second guy gets a hold of the leg and just takes him down, and it's close.
Yeah, Julio doesn't get used. He doesn't get used efficiently, in my opinion. I don't, there's a lot more that you could get out of him in the red zone. I don't understand why they don't use him.
And Impubai says they don't have a TV where they're at, so this is all he has for games. So we appreciate you tuning in. That's kind of why we decided to do it. It looks like you're going to see Matt Ryan's going to keep it.
Hector. Good.
Matt Ryan's going to keep it and get the first down here.
Hector, good comparison to Roddy White. Yeah, he's a complimentary guy. I think he'll put up good numbers. But again, Julio Jones is going to end up, if he stays in Atlanta, he's going to end up having all the franchise records for receiving, maybe minus touchdowns. I don't know who actually has the record for touchdowns in Atlanta, but if he doesn't have that, he'll have every other receiving mark in Atlanta.
Yeah, no.
Matt Ryan under center here, 1st and 10, hands the ball off to Coleman. Coleman gets back to the line of scrimmage, can't find a hole. It's going to be 2nd down here and 10 as well.
This Giants defensive line has been doing a great job about trying to get to Matt Ryan, and as well as stopping Coleman pretty well and pretty often, as far as being able to quiet him down. For an offense that has been doing well, or not so well with rushing, I should say. They're 20 or 30th in rushing in the league. The Giants are doing a pretty good job about stopping them.
Matt Ryan here in the gun on 2nd and 9. He's got Smith to his right, and he's got 4 wide. Giants threatening with pressure. Bring it up the gut. Matt Ryan dumps it off to Julio Jones across the middle. Almost gets away from the tackler, but ends up falling down for a gain of about 7 yards on that one. It's going to be 3rd down and about 2 or 3 here.
It's your boy JT asks, Sanu leaves Falcons nest next year. Look, the only way he's going to leave is if he gets traded. He's on a 5-year deal right now, and he's with the Giants until 2021, which is when he becomes a free agent.
Yeah, I mean, they could cut him depending upon the cap situation there. I don't know how tight they are against the cap and how much they would save, but I don't think they get rid of him. I think Sanu's a good fit there in Atlanta.
He's a good solid number 3 guy for them, and always has been. Matt Ryan's going to drop back, hits it off to Ridley. Ridley's going to get about 7-8 yards on the play.
It's first down.
And it's going to be a first down.
Just over 9 minutes left. Atlanta here threatening, up by 1 touchdown here, 13-6. Big gain there for Ridley for a first down. Ryan under center. He's got Coleman in the backfield, single back, hands it off. Or Smith, I'm sorry. Smith gets the gain up the middle for about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd down, and the clock just keeps on ticking.
It's exactly what Atlanta wants at this point. They want to get downfield. They want to score, but they also want to leave as minimal amount of time on the clock as they can. So Matt Ryan's going to drop back. He's got 3 wide. He's going to dump it off, and it looks like it's going to be caught by Hall for a gain of looks like about 7 there.
Yeah, just about 1 yard, 1.5 yards short of the first down. Stayed in bounds, so kept the clock going. Just over 8 minutes left. It's 3rd and 1. This is a big 3rd down here for the Giants if they want to keep points off the board. Giants need to make a big stop here. Matt Ryan under center. He's got in the I formation. He's got 1 wide receiver to his left, 1 to his right.
Looks like he's going to pitch out to Coleman. Coleman's going. He's got an open
and
field.
He is gone. 10-5 touchdown Atlanta.
30 yards.
Wow, big
Coleman.
Hole there for Coleman. He made 1 cut it upfield, and then let his speed do the rest. It's Coleman with a huge 30-yard touchdown run there to put Atlanta up 19-6. That might have put the nail in the coffin there for the Giants as their offense continues to struggle.
Yeah, and we've had a few more comments on the whole Sanu situation. Everybody seems to agree that the cap is the only situation which people can see him leaving.
Yeah.
But great run by Coleman here. Found the slot between the right tackle, and just went up the center, went for it, and found the hole. Went
Extra
deep.
point is up and good. That puts Atlanta up 20-6 now. Giants going to have to be aggressive on offense. Going to have to start taking some shots down the field. Time is not in their favor with just under 8 minutes left to go in the game here. Giants do have all their timeouts still remaining. They've got the 2-minute warning, obviously, still to go. So they do have some time here, but they can't waste much.
Hector says in his very best Mortal Kombat voice, finish him. We got plenty of people chiming in. Guys, we got 52 viewers on this right now. We appreciate it.
Hey, each and every one of you.
17 likes. Come on, you guys. You guys got to help us get the like button.
Hit the like button. Hit the like button while you're there, please, man. That helps us. We appreciate it. Any comments that you guys have, any questions that you have, make sure you're leaving the comments down below. We're trying to interact with you guys as much as we can as we're going through this game. We're in a commercial break. Again, I didn't update the score yet. Let me make that adjustment there. Falcons leading the Giants 20-6 in the 4th quarter with just under 8 minutes left to go.
I'll tell you what, Fred. If we can hit by the time this game is over. If we can hit I'll say with 53 people watching, I'll say if we can hit, what do you think, 35? If we can get 35 likes, we're going to give away a Birdland BS sticker and magnet to somebody.
Okay.
We'll send it out to somebody. We love, if you haven't seen our logo, you can see it up there in the top corner. There it is on one of our hats here. But we will get you a sticker and a magnet out to somebody if we can get this thing up to 30 likes. So you gotta like it, and you gotta comment, let us know that you liked it, and we'll reach out to one of you guys. We'll get it out to you. we have fun with this. We love doing this. This is really just a hobby for us.
Yeah.
We aren't making any money off of this. We are normally do our podcast, Birdland BS. So be sure to check into that. So let's see. We've got
the over-under on this, to answer your question, Hector, was 53 points. So we're well short.
Yeah.
Well short of the 53 points.
Very, very short.
This has not been the offensive explosion that I think a lot of people kind of expected this game to be, considering these two are just really bad defensive football teams.
Keep it going, guys. You got us up to 20 likes that quickly. Keep it going.
All right, Atlanta set to kick the ball off here to the Giants. Again, 7:47 left in the fourth quarter, trailing by 2 touchdowns here. Ball is up, back deep in the end zone. The Giants receive it. They're going to bring it out to the 10, 15, makes a cut up field, and he's going to be tackled at about the 21-yard line.
Forward progress, 21-yard line there. It's your boy JT saying Lynch is out for 4 weeks now minimum.
Eric Hartman says Birdland is hung like a mule, I can tell. Well, all right then.
That went a different way.
That escalated.
What does Tim Dong have to say?
I don't know. I would have thought a comment like that would come from a guy with the last name of Dong, but maybe not. Apparently not.
All right, Eli in this shotgun formation, three out. He's got Saquon out to the left. He's going to dump it off again to Saquon. Saquon trips up, but keeps on his feet and gets out. Looks like he stepped out there. I think it's going to be a step out at about the 30-yard line. We'll see where they spot this because his foot looked like it stepped out there, but then he went and made another yard or two move. James says Lynch is done for the year on IR.
Yeah, they made that announcement yesterday or today, earlier today, that he's out for the year. He's on IR. Manning gets the ball, hands it off to Saquon. Saquon breaks it up the middle. Oh, man, he was just
out to about the 46-yard line. One more move and he would have been good.
Wow. Big gain for Saquon as the offense gets the first down there. Saquon one move away from a big touchdown run. Or what would have been. Manning back in the guns, got Saquon to his left. He's got trips right. Throws the ball out to is that Fowler?
Fowler.
Yeah, Fowler with about an 11-yard gain for another first down there for the Giants as the Giants start to move. Again, Giants have played pretty well between the 20s. It's been the red zone that's been their struggle. Fortnite clips. What's your football team? Mine's the Saints. Too soon, Fortnite. Ours is the Ravens, as you guys just beat us by the 1 point. So we're a Baltimore sports podcast, but we're covering the NFL now here on Monday nights. So, but yeah, our hearts are with the Ravens. Eli back in the gun here from the 43-yard line, looking downfield. They stop the play. There's a whistle blown. A timeout called by the Falcons.
Tim says we rule. We appreciate that.
Appreciate it, Tim. Doesn't always mean out for if he's done for the year. Last we ever see a beast mode, and I think Gruden wanted him to be done with Oakland next year for Lynch. I agree. I think Lynch's days in Oakland, probably as an NFL running back, really are numbered. That's a guy that he put a lot of stress on his body with the type of runner that he is. I mean, he's not a runner that's afraid of contact, and obviously, he thrives in that. Another guy that's got a lot of lower body strength and just put a lot of miles on his body and a lot of strain on his body. Lynch was a great running back in Seattle for a very long time, but I think his days are numbered.
Fortnite says he feels bad for that kicker.
Yeah.
Look, Tucker is the most consistent kicker in all of NFL history. He's allowed to have one go not his way. I think some fans here in Baltimore may disagree. I think you and I agree.
Yeah.
Look, 222 consecutive, not including, as we said it before, his college career and his high school career, which his sophomore year, as you said earlier, is the last time he missed an extra point.
Yeah.
So you can't really go that far.
Angel Smith says, can she get a shout out to her brother-in-law and sister, Randy and Angie Olive in Gallup, New Mexico? shout out to Randy and Angie Olive in New Mexico. Appreciate it.
We got Jeff chiming in saying he's a Pittsburgh fan, along with Brandon Savage. So he says that both of them are Steelers fans.
I got a lot of respect for Steelers fans, man. It's a great rivalry. It's, I hate you guys on game day, but that's all out of respect, man. You guys always have a great football team, a great organization, and you guys do things the right way up there. It's a shame that you got somebody like Le'Veon trying to be above the team and kind of bringing everything else down up there.
Yeah. Tim says Rob Gronkowski is done because of his injury. He is done for. In his best Mortal Kombat voice, fatality.
Rob Gronkowski's done?
Yeah, I didn't hear about that.
I didn't hear any injuries to Rob Gronkowski. That would be news to me.
Yeah.
It was Fox News.
So Tim says he's in Bellevue, Washington, by the way.
James, I was going to make this announcement on the podcast tomorrow night, but just so you know ahead of time, I put that jinx on me. I actually I was at the game last night after they scored the touchdown. I turned to Ryan and Christy and I was like, oh, what if he misses this kick? And sure enough, he did. So I put that on me.
All right, Eli has 4 wide receivers, trips out to the left. He's going to drop back, feeling pressure quick, dumps off to Saquon. Saquon
gets tripped up, but he gains about 14. Yeah. That was a good game, but man, again, another shoestring type of tackle on Saquon Barkley where he's unable to keep his feet and keep his traction for a bigger game.
And I don't know if Fortnite is asking, but yet he said that was his first miss. Yes, that was Tucker's first miss in his career.
Since sophomore year of high school. High school.
Eli is struggling. He feels a little bit of pressure, dumps it off to Shepard. It looks like a gain of about 2, maybe 3 on the play. Going to be a tough go here for the Giants getting downfield. They're dumping it off, as much as they can. They're at about the 30. I guess now they're at about the 28-yard line. And actually, Shepard actually dropped the pass. I thought he actually even caught it.
Guys are asking Julio over Odell or Odell over Julio. I'll take Julio over Odell all day long.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons, and I could get into that, but there's a bunch of reasons I take Julio over
Less
Odell.
mouth is the only answer.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Eli back in the gun here from the 29-yard line. It's 2nd down and 10 with 5:33 left to go. Throws the ball towards the sidelines. Complete to Odell. Did he get his feet in? He did.
Looked like he did, yeah.
Just enough for the first down. 5:28 left now as the Giants, again, continue to drive, and he did get both feet inbounds.
Great toe tap by Julio there.
Yeah, very nice. Eli again. Here we go. Inside the 20.
What can he do?
What can he do? He's 1 for 6 so far in this game in the red zone. Now we're inside the 20-yard line. We'll see if Eli can get the ball in the end zone.
He's got 1st and 10 on the 18 here. He's got trips out to the left. Odell is out to the right. He's going to go through his progressions. He's looking Odell in towards the end zone, and Odell's high on Odell. Odell's looking for a flag there.
Odell's crying for a flag, but that ball, again, was 2 feet over Odell's head. Unless he's Shaquille O'Neal, he's not coming down with that ball.
Yeah. Tim says Eli needs to be like Russell Wilson, running around and throwing accurate passes.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, no.
He is the least mobile quarterback.
It's your boy saying, aside from Odell's attitude, he's not a bad player. Bell wants too much in reference to Jeff from Pittsburgh. I agree. He definitely wants too much for what's there. He's in the latter half of his career. As Eli drops back, he's looking again towards the end zone. He gets Odell at about the 3-yard line. Odell gets both feet inbounds again.
First and goal now for the Giants down at the 3-yard line as Manning continues to go to his star receiver in Odell Beckham. And even though he had double coverage on him there, was able to find him in a soft spot and make the catch right there at the 2-yard line.
Eli under center. He's going to drop back. He's going to hand it off to Saquon. And Saquon is in the end zone.
No, he got to the end zone.
I think
close.
He might have been the end zone here. I bet you this play goes to touchdown. I bet you this play goes to review. They're going to make sure that he did get in. Fortnite says he subscribed. Awesome, Fortnite. We appreciate that, man.
Appreciate each one of you that hit subscribe tonight, man. Really appreciate it.
46 of you guys watching this thing. Come on, hit the like button, get us to 30, 35 likes, and we'll give away a magnet and sticker for Birdland BS. We appreciate all of you guys watching.
Looking at that camera angle there, Saquon Barkley broke the line, so it should stand as a touchdown here. They're going to review just to make sure, but that one looked like it was a touchdown for Saquon for sure.
It's your boy JT says Eli is complete garbage and is ruining his legacy by continuing to play. And James chimes back and says he has no line. He will get a Hall of Fame only because he beat Brady in 2 Super Bowls. Is what it's your boy JT says.
Even those Super Bowls, I don't think is enough for him to get a Hall of Fame. We talked about this earlier. I don't know if you were in the room, but for me, again, if Eli puts these numbers up and wins those 2 Super Bowls 30 years ago when the game was different, his numbers qualify for Hall of Fame back then.
Hector asks,
Terry Bradshaw and Troy Aikman got in back then, but in this day and age, he doesn't have the numbers.
Yeah, no. Hector asked how much time is left. Hector, we got 4:47 left on the clock right now. So
4:47 left. The Giants just scored a touchdown to bring it back to a 1-possession game. Well, they still got to kick the extra point here. It is back to at least an 8-point game as of right now, and if they kick the extra point, it'll be 7. So we'll see what the Giants decide to do.
Jeff Robolo says he's subscribed. We appreciate that.
Appreciate it, Jeff. Appreciate the subscribe.
Fortnite says he hopes we hit 200 subscribers here soon. We appreciate it. We hope we do too.
We hope we do too, man. Yeah, we're trying to do this every week, and look, the only reason we do it is if you guys are going to watch it. We're not going to do it and just talk to ourselves. We can do that without a camera. So
yeah, exactly.
We appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in for sure.
And be sure to tune in. Even if you're not a Ravens or Orioles fan or Baltimore fan, check us out on our Facebook page, on our YouTube when we do our actual podcast. It's also on Spotify. That's we're getting big. We're on Spotify, which honestly anybody can get on Spotify, but not a lot of people are on Spotify.
Yeah.
So we got on Spotify. We have a good time. Pretty much any podcast place of your choice you can find.
Adam asked, Tom Brady or Peyton Manning?
Tom Brady. Tom Brady, no question for me.
I can't say no question. I mean, I think you're pulling at straws there. Only reason I think Tom Brady is I think Tom Brady's more clutch in big games. Peyton, as great as a quarterback as he was in the regular season, his biggest struggles were in the postseason and his ability to get over the top and get over the hump and win championships. Tom Brady doesn't have a problem with that. Tom Brady wins another championship in his sleep. For me, I'd probably go Tom Brady on that one. But again,
if Peyton,
you're pulling at straws.
If Peyton's in New England, it's a close tie there.
Right.
If Peyton is playing in New England with the weapons that he has. Ansar says Brady as well. It's your boy
Giants going for 2 here on the 2-yard line. Manning in the gun, looking wide. Throws to Odell Beckham. Beckham, it hit him in his hands, but good play by the defender there to break the ball up. Not real sure why they went for 2 there because you kick the extra point. It's a 7-point game. You get it. I mean, yeah, it's a 6-point game and a touchdown and extra point.
Odell had it in his arm. It hit him as soon as it came into the inside of his elbow is where he lost it. But a lot of people are saying Brady. Adam says his wife is hot too.
How about Drew Brees? Look, Drew Brees is a great quarterback. He is. He's a great quarterback. But you put him in the conversation with Tom Brady and you put him in the conversation with Peyton Manning, and I'm still going Tom Brady all day.
It's a little bit closer for me between Brees and Brady, and the reason because of the weapons that Brady has had throughout his career. If Brees has those weapons, I think Brees is the better quarterback. Brees has done more with less.
Tom Brady won a couple because of a kicker, Fred. I take Manning in his prime. Tom Brady got him in position for the kicker to win those games, though.
Yeah.
Those James. That's and you're talking quite a few rings, my friend, and quite a few times that he had other chances to win rings. I mean, this guy has...
Giants kick it out of the back of the end zone, by the way, so it'll be Atlanta on the 20.
It's a debatable conversation, though, Peyton and Brady, no doubt about it.
25.
There's many a reasons you could go one way or the other with it, and I can't fault you for going Manning over Brady or Brady over Manning either way. But if I got to make a choice, I'm going Brady. I just think he's more clutch.
Yeah, no, it's Brady over Peyton. Brees, I think he just didn't. He's never had the consistent weapons. He's always had a decent running back core. wide receiving core has sometimes occasionally been questionable, so that's why I think he's done more with less. Matt Ryan's going to step back, throw it over the middle to Julio Jones. Julio Jones is going to break it out. Looks like it's going to be about a 16-yard gain here.
Big play there by
taking
Julio.
it out to about the 44-yard line. Huge play there.
Let's see. They're not showing how much time's left yet.
Sorry. 19-yard gain. We got about 3:53 left in this game. Ansar says, imagine Brady with Antonio Brown. Holy crap. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
That would be ridiculous.
All right, so Matt Ryan under center, letting the play clock run down as he gets down to 2 seconds left, hikes the ball off, pitches it out to Coleman. Coleman runs to the left, but he's going to lose about 5 yards.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Coleman runs out of bounds on that instead of falling down inbounds, so it stops the clock
3:53.
with 3:53 left. Kind of a poor decision there. Not only did you lose yardage, but you stopped the clock and save the Giants a potential timeout. And save them time.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Brady had Randy Moss for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Rings do mean something, James. It's again, it's the ultimate team sport. It does, it takes a team to win, and Tom Brady has been the orchestrator for that offense for a long time. Talking about Manning.
Ryan's going to pass it out to Ridley.
Jesus. Ryan in the gun completes about a 4-yard pass to Ridley. Now Ridley smartly stays in bounds there.
And the Giants are going to call timeout here at 3:40.
There you go. It's going to be a long third down here. I want to say it's going to be third down and maybe 10 or third down and 11 here. Again, Giants trail by now 8 points because they didn't kick the extra point like a bunch of idiots.
Now, James says numbers get you in the Hall of Fame, and I agree with that to an extent. Numbers do get you in the Hall of Fame, but you know what? The other thing that gets you into the Hall of Fame is the ability of rings and having the ability to elevate your team to a point that they can win championships. Because what gets you more money, James, in the long run? Being a championship winning or championship caliber quarterback, or being a champion or being a guy that can just throw a lot of numbers. That's the one thing about Drew Brees. It's kind of a tale of two stories there. Drew Brees has, struggled a little bit more with getting into the playoffs.
Matt Ryan with a complete pass there to Ridley. Ridley extends his arms. Looked like he got enough for the first down, and they are going to give him a good spot.
And he stayed in bounds for that as well.
As he did. Or that wasn't... Yeah, it was Ridley. 1st and 10.
Freddie says he just subscribed. We appreciate that. And
appreciate it, Freddie.
Fortnite asked what our channel is about. Our channel is mainly about Baltimore sports podcasting, but for our Baltimore sports, and we do a podcast. But we've been getting into doing some commentary on these games. It looks like we're going to be doing a lot more of the Monday Night Football games because it just works out time wise for both of us. So that's really what we are about.
On YouTube specifically, I'll also do occasional instant reaction videos. I started basically where I just kind of will give my instant 2 or 3 minute reaction to big news around sports in general, whether it be football, baseball, basketball, whatever it may be, any kind of big news that breaks. I just give you my 2 or 3 minutes of my 2 cents.
Yeah. So it looks like they're going to say he got out of bounds there. They stopped the clock at 3:27 left in the fourth.
Giants used another timeout.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. So Giants down to 1 timeout here. 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line.
Matt Ryan roll back.
Dumps it off to... Who is that? Is that Hall? It's hard to see. Hardy.
Yeah, it's going to be to Hardy. The Giants call another timeout with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock.
He dove in bounds. Stayed in bounds, gained about 8 yards on that play, so it's going to be 2nd and 2 here.
Looks like Denkeese McLean is saying Atlanta is his team.
All right, Mr. McLean. ATO.
All right, guys, we got 53 of you guys in here. Come on, give us a like, give us that thumbs up. We've got 53 people in here. I know there's been quite a few people in here for a while now. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe too, so you can know when we go. Every time we go live, we'll be going live for all these Monday night games, and then for our normal podcast. So definitely be sure to head us out.
LeBron James or Calvin Johnson in what? An arm wrestling match, in football, in basketball? I mean, what are we talking here? LeBron James or Calvin Johnson?
Yeah.
Both elite athletes, I'll say that for sure. Calvin Johnson kind of had the Barry Sanders effect, where he left his career early. A guy that was at the top of his game when he left. Matt Ryan here under center. 3 minutes and 15 seconds left. He is under center. 2nd down and 1.
Whistle dead. It looks like they're going to call false start. And looks like it's going to be on Hooper. False start on Hooper.
Appreciate it. It's your boy JT for subscribing, man. Each one of you guys that have subscribed tonight. If we haven't mentioned you, haven't given you a shout out, we appreciate that, man. It goes a long way with us.
And there's our boy Engraven chiming in.
What's going on, Engraven? Appreciate you tuning in, brother.
And yeah, it is crunch time.
Appreciate the picture earlier today. I got that as well.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. It looked good. Yeah, and you're right. It is crunch time. It's crunch time for the Giants. Down 20-12 here with 3:15 left on the clock.
Giants got to get a stop here. It's 2nd down and 6. They hand the ball off to Smith. Smith gains about 5 yards, so it's going to be a 3rd down and 1. Giants don't call timeout, or actually Giants used their last timeout earlier, so this is going to run down to just before the 2-minute warning. We're going to have about 2 minutes and 25 seconds left after this 3rd down. This is it. This is the game here for the Falcons. Falcons get this 1st down, and it's a wrap. Atlanta leads 20-12.
Angel asks, do you think Atlanta has a chance for the playoffs with all of the I'm assuming she's saying all the injuries, or he's saying all the injuries. We got a penalty here. Looks like it's going to be on Schrader, false start.
Yeah, so a big 5-yard loss there for Atlanta for many reasons. One, that obviously makes the 3rd down conversion a little harder, but 2, that pushes them back out of field goal range possibly. Not that they were in great field goal position, but that puts them out of field goal position, so they definitely got to get that yardage back if they even want a chance at kicking. But I think the smarter move for the Falcons here would be to pin them back and punt and keep the ball deep back in the
As far, by the way, for Angel's question, as far as the Atlanta has a chance in the playoffs, I think if they can continue the path that it looks like they're on tonight of having a little bit more, offense, Ryan's going to dump it off to Hooper. Hooper looks like a gain of about 3.
Gain about 3, so that's all right. So they're right on the borderline of kicking a field goal here. It's 4th down and about 2. A field goal wins the game for Atlanta at that point. I mean, unless they do, unless Giants go down and get a touchdown and get some sort of miracle onside kick.
John, and the Falcons are going to let this go down with the 2-minute warning.
But the other thing you got to think of from the Falcons standpoint is if you kick a field goal here and you miss it, you give the Giants great field position. That's why I say
on the Giants 38. Yeah,
I think the smarter thing here for the Falcons to do is Manning, yes, he had that last drive, and that last drive was great. But really, this game, this entire year, Manning hasn't really done a whole lot. I say you pin him back as far as you possibly can with a punt. And, you've got an 8-point lead because they were idiots. Didn't kick the extra point.
Yeah, exactly. They tried to go for the 2 and get it on the board then.
Yeah, so they got to get a touchdown here, got to get a 2-point conversion just to tie the game.
I've never understood that trying to go for the win before you're even close. Yeah. That's really what they were doing. They were setting themselves up so if they got another touchdown, they could kick the field goal and win the game. But they didn't work. Adam says Mike Vick or Matt Ryan.
Mike Vick all day.
Yeah.
Mike Vick all day just because of his versatility and what he brought to the field. I mean, yes, he had all the off-the-field bullshit that, went along with him and everything. But, I don't really – I'm an animal lover. I'm a dog lover. Both of us are.
Yeah.
So, that kind of stuff hits home with me. But just talking from a pure football perspective, Mike Vick was probably one of the most talented athletes I've ever seen. Just not, he wasn't the best quarterback I've ever seen, but he was just one of the most talented athletes I've ever seen.
Right.
He did things that nobody else has ever done.
Yeah.
At both levels.
Yeah, no, several people saying that he was a running back standing in the QB positions, which is what JD said. Yeah, he had the ability to throw the ball too.
He did. He wasn't the most accurate quarterback, but he had a hell of an arm. And you had to respect his ability to throw the ball because he would beat you with a deep pass if you game planned for him to just run the ball all day.
Yeah. Anthony North asked if we only do Monday Night Football. Right now, yeah, that's all that we're doing. We did a Thursday Night Football for our first round of this just because of how timing worked out. We'll see what the future brings to us.
We got over 60 of you guys in there watching, man. We really appreciate that. That's awesome.
Yeah, continue to hit like and subscribe. Guys, the big thing about this, the more you guys like, the more you guys subscribe, the more that we can kind of move this forward, and maybe we can do more on Thursday nights, on Sunday Night Football, and be able to do a little bit more. So definitely, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so that we can try and, the more that we get the likes, more views we get, the more we can try and push to make this a little bit bigger thing for us.
So they are going to attempt the field goal here. This is a 56-yard attempt. This is a ballsy move for the Falcons because, again, if they miss this, gives the Giants great field position. But if they make it...
So far, Tavecchio hit a 50-yarder. This is going to be 56 yards.
It's up. It's accurate. Is it deep enough? And it is. Good. It's good. Wow. The young...
23-12
new kicker. Now. Wow. Huge field goal. So that puts a seal on this game, basically, for the Falcons. Wow. Rolled the dice.
Yeah,
paid off.
Hey, it pays off for you. You're making it a 2-score game at this point.
Anthony, you subscribe. We appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, we appreciate
you hitting subscribe,
that, man.
Yeah,
wow. Definitely, guys, make sure you hit the like button if you're in here. Those of you guys that have subscribed or haven't subscribed, hit that like button. We're at 25. Again, if we're 5 away right now, and we got 1 minute and 55 seconds left in this game. It's got to happen before the end of the game, not before the end of the video, and before the end of the game. We've got to get
30 likes.
30 likes. If we get 30 likes, I'm gonna send somebody out. We're gonna pick somebody. We're gonna send somebody out a sticker and a magnet. That's our Birdland BS logo. Which you can see right there as our logo. So we'll get it out to you guys as soon as possible.
You just took the words right out of my mouth, man. Matt Bryant might be looking for employment elsewhere with the way that this kid's kicking, man. It's 56-yarder, and he still had some room on that. He could have made that from 58 or maybe even 60.
So Giants field the ball from about the 5. Henderson's going to take it out to about the 30-yard line, it looks like he's going to get out to. So Giants in good position here.
Is it Ninpwabe? That's a punt if it's not in a dome, I agree. Absolutely. The wind's absolutely a factor. So we'll see what happens here. Tanny, you guys are awesome. Just like the page. Appreciate it, Tanny. Appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah, like the page, like the video, everything, guys. We appreciate it. 62 of you guys out there. This is awesome, guys. You have to understand, we're a small-time podcast. We love this. You guys are all watching at the same time.
Manny back in the gun here. He's got wide receivers to his right, 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left.
Steps back, plenty of time. Look, going deep.
Left. He's got Sterling Shepard with a big gain.
It's going to be about a 58-yard gain.
Yeah, he's pushed out at about the 14-yard line. Huge play there for Sterling Shepard and the Giants.
They're going to be on the Atlanta 14-yard line now.
Wow, huge
First
play.
and 10 on the Atlanta 14, straight into being into red zone territory. But again,
this is
where they struggle. Manning cannot afford to have any incomplete passes here. He's got to be on point. And it's going to be incomplete to
Trying to get the ball over the top there to the corner of the end zone to Ingram and threw it a little short.
Off Ingram's hands, though.
Yeah, as the defender was able to get his hand up and pull that out of Ingram's hands.
Oh, my goodness. Who's the best? Let's see. Who's the best? Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, Odell Beckham, DeAndre Hopkins. I got to go Antonio Brown as much as I don't like the Steelers.
Man, that's a tough one.
Adam says thanks for the stream. No problem. Thanks for watching, Adam. We appreciate it, man. All right, Eli has 3 wide out to the right. Saquon drops out to the left. Feeling the pressure, rolls out to the right.
And throws it to Sterling Shepard for about a 6-yard gain, but the clock is still rolling. Down to 1:25 left. It's 3rd down.
Eli's going no huddle here with 1:20 left.
Trying to get everybody up on the line and get everybody on the same page. Down to about 1:15. 3rd and 4 here. Manning gets the ball in the shotgun, looks to his right, throws to the tight end. Tight end extends, but hits the ball on the ground at about the 1-yard line. Clock still ticking. Down to a minute left. 58 seconds. Clock is ticking. Atlanta holding on to the ball, trying to keep the ref from spotting the ball.
And we got about 20 seconds left. Fortnite asked how much time. We got 20 seconds left on the clock right now.
47 seconds left.
Oh, whoops! I'm sorry. I'm looking at the. I'm looking at the wrong side. I was looking at the play clock. Had 20 seconds left on it.
Yeah, there's they run it up the middle, but they're stuffed at about the half-yard line. Time still ticking. Down to 30, 29, 28. Manning tries to sneak it himself. Doesn't look like he gets in. Time is still ticking. Down to 20 seconds. Down to 15 seconds. Manning trying to get everybody up on the line.
As quick as possible.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Manning throws to Odell Beckham in the corner of the end zone.
Oh.
Touchdown. But there's only 5 seconds left in this game. That was a heck of a pass and a heck of a catch for Beckham there.
Odell drug the foot there.
Yeah, a little too late as there's only 5 seconds left to go.
Yeah, no way for them to really, unless you have an onside kick and able to recover it in less than a second, it's not going to happen here.
Who's the best team in the league right now? I would give it to the Rams. Rams are the most all-around team, the best all-around team, but the Chiefs are the best offensive team, yes. But the Rams, best all-around.
James says he got his win tonight in fantasy. About time, James, about time.
Who's a better running back? Todd Gurley, stop there. I don't need to read the rest of them. Todd Gurley.
Most consistent. They're going for a two-point conversion here. Is going to be good.
Saquon Barkley runs it up the middle for his 2 points. So now it's a 3-point game for the for the Giants. If they had a little bit of time left, you know, the onside kick and maybe a pass to the sideline could get you into field goal range, which was at least a shot. But with 5 seconds left in the game, there's just not enough time.
Yeah, if you can get an onside kick and if you can recover it and throw it deep, that's the only thing that can happen.
Rams are like a bowling ball, yeah. Very much so.
Yeah, and it's your boy JT says Antonio Brown's routes, running abilities, and catch abilities, and speed make him a legend.
Yeah, I agree with that. Antonio Brown's a great wide receiver, great all around. What I like about him too is he plays with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. I think being a later round draft pick, he had obviously intentions of being great.
All right, Odell is out here for the onside kick. This is going to be interesting if they can get this onside kick.
And they kind of try to
squib kick it out, and Julio Jones is going to down it at about the 24-yard line. Takes a second off the clock. And
that's going to be a wrap. All the Falcons need to do is come out, take a knee, and the game is over. As the Falcons are going to end up beating the Giants 23-20. Odell Beckham looks like he's barking at somebody on the Falcons' sideline. Obviously frustrated that the Giants are going to fall to 1-6 on the year.
We saw it earlier. Odell was wide open for a throw that Eli should have made for him for an earlier touchdown than what they actually got.
Right.
Fortnite says Alvin Kamara is the best. He's good.
Alvin Kamara is a very good all-around back, good pass-catching running back, and a good running back. He's in a good system there as well.
All right, and the Falcons take the knee, and that ends the game. Falcons win this one 23-20 with your final.
Adam, so our next time on here doing the live stream like this, where we're going to actually live stream the game, it's going to be every Monday night we're going to try to do. So we're going to be doing Monday Night Football game live streams. But we do our Baltimore sports podcast every Tuesday night. Now, tomorrow night's episode is being pushed off to Wednesday because Scott's having a dental procedure done. So we're not going to be able to do it Tuesday tomorrow. But every week we do a Baltimore sports podcast where we cover the Ravens and we cover, a lot of things going on in the Baltimore and the Maryland area. And that's every Tuesday night at 8:30, 8:45 Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you hit subscribe, tune into those shows. And look, we appreciate, again, each and every one of you guys tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you guys that hit like and that hit subscribe, most importantly. That's huge to us.
Still got 55 of you guys watching, and we got 28 likes. I'll extend it as long as we're on. We need 2 likes in the next 2 minutes.
Come on, man. Hit that like button while you're there. We got 53 of you in here watching. Hit that like button. That really helps us, and we're going to give away a little bit of Birdland BS swag if we can get to 30 before we hit the disconnect button here. So make sure you do that.
Hector says he'll be on next week. We appreciate that, Hector.
For you guys, that haven't followed us on any of the other social networkings, we are on Facebook at Birdland BS. We're on Twitter. We have our Twitter page, which is at Birdland BS. Follow us there. But you can follow us as individuals. I'm at Fred BLBS. He's at Scott BLBS. Check us out on Instagram. Just look up Birdland BS. We post pictures on there occasionally of us and some of our fans and friends, tailgating pictures and things of that nature. So just follow us on all the social networkings. If you Google search us as far as the audio podcast goes, we're pretty much on all the platforms. We're on Apple. We're on Google Podcasts. We're on Spotify. Podbean, you name it. We're out there. So make sure you hit subscribe and you find us on all those feeds. Tune in every week.
Yeah, we're at 29. Come on, guys. The other thing, check out our website, www.birdlandbs.com. You can find all of our podcasts there. You can find a little bit about each of us. You can find our gear page where you can get some of the gear. I'm wearing one of it now, one of our hats. You can customize them. I'm wearing one of our shirts. So you can see that. But check us out. And then the other thing, obviously, is we're actually going to be, if you get any gear, send us some photos because we're going to be publishing that and being able to send that out to everybody online, Facebook, and being able to let everybody see. It's going to be BLBS Nation is what we're calling it. And if you got anything you want us to talk about on Twitter, hit us up, hashtag BLBS Nation, and we can bring it up on the show and answer any questions that you guys have. We do a social media shout-out section. Again, we are mainly a sports podcast, Baltimore sports podcast, but we kind of get into everything. If people got questions, we'll try and answer it as much as we can.
And I see you guys all there, giving us all the love and appreciate, each and every one of you guys giving us all the positive feedback. We appreciate that. This is, again, something new for us that each week we're going to do and we're going to try to get a little bit better with. So
come on, guys. One more like.
One more like. We're trying to drag this out, man. We're trying to drag it out to get to 30.
There are 48 people in this room.
Somebody out there needs to hit like real quick so we can get to 30. Come on, make it happen. Hit the thumbs up. Get us out there for 30 so we can give away something before we tune off the air.
Hector, Fortnite, they all say that they'll be watching us next week. We appreciate that, guys. Everybody that's saying it. Tim says hashtag Birdland BS rules.
Well, we appreciate that. There we go. We hit 30.
Hey, somebody's getting it.
So we're going to give out a little bit of Birdland BS swag. Matter of fact, you know what? Just because this went so well, I'm going to throw in a t-shirt. I wasn't going to do it, but you know what? We do have some Birdland BS t-shirts. So what we're going to do is on our next episode, next Monday, when we do a live stream, we're going to pull everybody that hit like on here or everybody that was in the comment field here that we can cut any way we can figure out to get your names. We're going to put them in a hat, draw out a name. We'll send you a shirt. We'll send you some stickers, send you a little Birdland BS gift bag. We appreciate each and every one of you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. We will see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Adios.
Peace.